What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 50/50 podcast. This is your boy Illis Demeanor, and I'm here with my co-host.
What's y'all? How's everybody doing? What it is? Welcome back. Today is July 9th, 2023. We got a guest with us today, Dana.
Hi.
What's up, Dana?
This ain't gonna be, just for everybody listening, this ain't gonna be like a pressing interview where we press Dana. Dana's just going to give her 2 cents on everything. So it's not gonna be anything to where we're gonna grill you and make you answer questions. I mean, we might, but it ain't gonna be all
Oh
that.
yeah, we definitely are.
Okay. So, man, what about that Plain Jane episode? How you feeling about it?
I like it. I was
Yeah.
surprised. It's one of our top viewed episodes
It's
right
the
now
most
on our
viewed
channel.
as of right now. I told her the same thing. She said, she was happy about it. She's excited.
Yeah, what is it at?
I think it's at
144 or something like that.
Last time I checked, it was 140.
Yeah.
But like I said, we keep getting. So last time I checked 140, it's now at 150.
150.
So definitely the highest viewed video.
Shout out to Plain Jane.
Yeah, shout out Plain Jane. Yeah, that's our biggest video right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can just keep that momentum, keep it going. Let's go ahead and just talk about UFC 290 real quick, since it's fresh. Just happened last night, man. I know you said you watched the highlights. What do you think?
What I saw was good. The first highlight I seen was Brandon Moreno
Okay.
and Robert Whitaker.
Okay.
And Robert Whitaker got knocked out.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like Robert Whitaker.
Here's the thing, though. Like, as bad as I want Robert to win, do we really want to see Robert Izzy 3?
No.
I mean,
No.
do we need it?
We don't need it.
I think go ahead, let Dracus Duplessis, whatever the fuck his name is.
Dracus Duplessis.
Yeah, that's how you say it. He's French. He says he's African, but he's fucking French as fuck. I think let him go ahead and get the title shot. Get new blood in there. After him, though, I say give Sean Strickland the title shot.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
I
why
like
not?
Sean Strickland.
Did you watch his last fight with it's a boost, but it's spelled a bus?
Yeah.
Knocked him out in the second round. And, like, this was supposed to be, like, the big Dagestani dude's gonna come in, like, Chimaev type shit, and, like, just clear the fucking, middleweight division.
Yeah.
And Sean just fucking kept his pace. He has a weird, I don't know if you watched it, but he almost has, like, a Philly box.
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm.
And he does it the
Kind
whole
of like
time.
kind of like the Floyd Mayweather
Exactly,
the Philly shell.
And he does it in MMA and somehow makes it work. Stands straight the fuck up, chin up in there, but he just kind of rolls and, dips and dodges.
Trains in Philly.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know if he trains in Philly, but he trains that way for sure all the time.
Yeah.
And he says that's why he's, so good at the sport is because all he does is spar. Live spar all the time. Like, there's no fucking half-ass, no, like, pussyfooting around. He ain't going for none of that shit.
Yeah. I'd like to see that fight.
I would too.
Right now, I don't know. Izzy, he at the top of his game right now.
He's not going to beat Izzy, but it's just going to be fun, like, to get somebody new in there. Because Izzy's lapping the division. I mean, Paulo Costa done beat. Fucking Chimaev moved up.
Yep.
We can get him and Chimaev.
Yep.
But, man, I don't even know about that fight. Because if Chimaev wrestles, do we see Izzy getting taken down and choked the fuck out in 30 seconds?
Yeah, because he ain't a good wrestler.
We ain't seen it. Yeah, we ain't seen it.
Yeah.
They say he can. He says he can. And he says he wants to, show people when the time's right. And I think with Chimaev, he wouldn't have a choice but to wrestle.
Yeah.
Bo Nickel. Shout out Bo Nickel.
Yeah.
Got the knockout 38 seconds.
Yeah. How do you... Alexander...
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski?
Yep.
Yeah.
I told you, dude, that was the last, few episodes we did. We was talking about our pound-for-pound greatest fighter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah. I seen his highlights, too.
Dude.
Third round.
He's a fucking beast. And he just went up a weight class to fight Islam Makhachev. For the fucking...
These names.
Dude, I know. They're fucking Russian. Fucking... Yeah. Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
Who else? So Robert Whitaker got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Hooker got the win. Dude, he broke his hand in the second round.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Or not his hand, his arm. Sorry, his arm. In the second round, finished the fight and got the decision. Like, that's fucking wild to me.
Yeah.
And, broke it, right here. Bro, how do you fucking keep punching with a fucking arm that's snapped? Like, Dan Hooker's something else. So shout out Dan Hooker, Bo Nickel
Yeah.
again. Me and Archie was talking about it, and I was telling him, man, watch out for Bo Nickel. Robbie Lawler, last fight of his career. You know, you see a lot of people go out on their last fight, like Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
Got choked out. You know, it's sad to see him go out like that. Robbie Lawler, though, came out, knocked the motherfucker out in 38 seconds. So, let me ask you, if that was you, and this was going to be your last fight, and you come out in 38 seconds and you knock him out, you make it look easy, you don't even break a fucking sweat.
Yeah.
Do you think that's your last fight? Or do you think that gives you the confidence, like, no, I'm not done. What the fuck am I doing?
It depends. I don't know. It depends. Like,
What's your wife say?
I mean, yeah. What?
But if
Why would I make that my last fight? Why would I even say it's my last fight?
Well, I mean, he's been in the game for so fucking long.
So
Dude,
what,
he was,
15 years?
and it took him 10 years to even get a title shot. Like, he fought in the UFC for 10 years before getting a title shot. He got the title, but took him that long. So think about it, a decade of fighting before even getting a title.
Yeah. What does my future look like?
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
but bro,
do
like,
I got some,
if you just
some
knock
other
somebody
big
out,
fights?
38 seconds, how do you not be like, I can't give up now? I mean, unless you're just absolutely not hurting for money. But you got to think, these guys don't all do it just for money. They do it because they love to train. They love all that. He did say, like, this whole training session or fight camp up until the fight, he said, I didn't feel good. There was not one day I felt good. I felt off. My timing was shit. I just couldn't get my feet to move right. He said the only day I felt good was the night of the fight. Which, I mean, that's the only day that really counts.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a whole training camp go perfect. And then the night of the fight, if you feel off, like, you're fucked pretty much. You got to keep that consistency. I don't want to see him go.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't want to go out my last fight with a loss.
No, for sure. Okay.
You know, before
okay, so there's the other side of the coin. Do you go ahead and go out on the win, 38 seconds, and just, okay, that's it?
Yeah, that'd be a good way to go out. You can be like, yeah, it's my last fight. Knocked it out in 38 seconds.
Did you watch the knockout?
I'm done. No, I didn't see it, but
like, they was clenched up basically, and he's just like fucking hitting with bombs, uppercuts, hooks, uppercuts, and finally gets him with one good uppercut, and as he's falling back, gets him again with a hook. And there was like no follow-up shots. He just put his fucking hands up. Like, dude didn't even break a sweat. Like, I don't know. I hate to see Robbie go because Robbie's such a fun fighter to watch. Yeah. Like, him and, not Roy Nelson, what the fuck? Roy McDonald. That fucking fight. Yeah. Where they're just fucking bloody at the end and spitting on the fucking ground and staring at each other, dude. It's my favorite fight. Like, I love that shit. And
so you like when they all sweaty and...
Yeah, like, when they fucked up and, like, you just see two dudes just in there, like, giving it their all. Yeah. And both of them are busted the fuck up. Like, I think his name's Roy. I might be getting it wrong. His last name's McDonald for sure. But nose broke. For sure, nose broke. And, like, just going in there and keep fighting. Like, I love to see that shit. Same thing with, like, NBA. Somebody gets hurt, and they come back and finish that fucking game. Like, they don't fucking pussy out. Be like, oh, you know, my pinky toe hurts. I gotta go sit down.
Right.
I don't know. I like that shit. Real quick, just touch on Alexander Volkanovski. Yeah. So he beat Yair Rodriguez, who is probably the toughest fight in that division besides Max Holloway.
That's my boy, Max Holloway.
Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway has already fought, I think, 3 times. Do we do a 4th?
Who got the upper hand?
Alexander, every time. Max has not beat him once. I'm pretty sure.
I like Max Holloway too.
I love Max Holloway. But same thing with like Izzy and Robert Whittaker. Do we do another rematch of the same 2 people, or do we just like kind of like what do you do now with the division?
Yeah. I need more fighters, because if you gotta fight somebody 3 or 4 times, I mean, you ain't got a lot of fighters in the division.
They've already fought 3 times, so this would be the 4th fucking fight. That's going into like Brandon Moreno, Davison Figueiredo territory. Like nobody wants to see it. Or Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. Nobody needed that fucking rematch. Yeah. Like, I'm glad she went out on a win, just like Robbie did, but she went out as double champ. That's got to feel fucking like to go out on top.
That's how I would want to go out.
Double champ.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
Triple champ, quadruple champ. I'll go up in weight, clear out the division, go down in weight, clear out the division.
It's so hard though, man. So what do you weigh right now?
205.
Okay, so do you think you could fluctuate your weight enough to go to like 185? And then come back up to 206?
You gotta give me a time frame.
It's
but
hard
I mean,
as fuck.
I know it's hard. It's hard on the body.
Like, have you watched the weight cutting videos? Dude, they're fucking depleted.
Fatigued.
Like, they say it feels like dying.
Mm-hmm.
Because your body's shutting down. You ain't got no water. You're dehydrating yourself. I don't know. That's
hard.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm. And I like to eat.
See?
I like to eat meat, so I'll be like,
You said what else? Oh, 291.
291.
291.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me some predictions for 291.
Well, you got the BMF title.
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Poirier.
That right there. I'm going for Justin Gaethje.
Okay.
I like his fighting style. Like, I'm going for him. Both of them, it's a good fight. I feel like they evenly matched, but I'm going for Justin Gaethje.
Even though Dustin already beat him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see him come back.
If I'm putting money on it, I'm putting it on Dustin. But if I'm picking who I want to win, I'm going for Justin. I want Justin to win. Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. Who do you got?
What's the first guy's name? How you pronounce it?
Jan. Jan.
I want him to win because I don't like.
You don't like Alex Pereira?
No,
I love
Pereira. He tried to fight my boy Izzy.
Well, yeah, but think about that story.
And he beat him.
Yeah, but
and I was pissed.
Bro, it made such a good story.
It did.
Like, that loss sucks so bad, but that fucking redemption fight.
Yeah.
Bro, you remember, like, going wild? Like, that feeling alone was the fucking greatest thing. And I don't think it would have been that way had Izzy won the first fight. Like, we would have been hyped.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have been as hyped as, like, man, you got knocked
the
fuck out. Yeah,
Did you tell her about that?
I think so. She was supposed to come that night. That's when she fucking flaked.
Like, the whole place, like, erupted.
Yeah, she fucking flaked the fuck out.
Man. No, you didn't respond.
No, I responded. I had a chair and everything. That's the chair
you probably was in the fight. They're like, are y'all there? You like, you missed it. Oh, well. Man. You should have been here.
I'm kind of glad she didn't come.
But yeah, like, the whole place, like, erupted. Like, we flipped chairs. I didn't even know I flipped the chair.
Yeah.
Like I was, and I fucking the chair. Yeah, he threw the keys.
I think that would have been so fun.
Man, we had like a couple of tables that was like on the side of us. They were like just looking at us.
But it's like 10 fucking people in a 4-seater table.
I think we was the most hype.
I think for sure was. I mean, everybody was loud, but like we was fucking up.
Yeah,
I remember just jumping and be like, "You dusty fucking bitch!" Bro, I was going the fuck off.
Yeah, it was like, oh, and then my wife was there, and she was like,
"Bro, she was so embarrassed."
Yeah,
she was embarrassed as fuck.
Like because
she said, "Pick up that chair."
She said, "Pick up that fucking chair," and I was like, I didn't even know I threw the chair, and like the chair was like almost on the other side of the, and I didn't even know.
World, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised they wasn't like, "Hey."
Y'all gotta go. That probably happens more often than what you think.
Well, if it wasn't for the whole place doing it like they did, I think, I
want that footage.
I do too.
I want that footage.
You think we would call them and be like, hey.
They probably erased it. It was probably like so long ago.
It was only in April, wasn't it?
I think so. But I don't know if they keep it like certain like systems.
It depends on what footage.
I want it so fucking bad.
I should go like make up something, just be like, yeah, you know, like the Izzy
and
Pereira
we'll do it for
fight.
Fucking promotion, like
somebody like complained on me, like I flipped the chair or something. And they won't like they complained on me or something, and like they asked about the footage or something, man. Like, can I see it? Because I don't remember me flipping the. Can I have it for evidence? I'm trying to defend myself right now. Can I have it? And then get it
one more time.
Just that part right there. Yeah, but I would love to have that.
It was such a like. I go back to this a lot. The Rowdy Rich clip that I sent you, the box.
Yep.
It goes back to one of those type of moments where, like, collectively, the space you are occupying is just one. Like, everybody feels the same way. and it's. Bro, we would have been the only people going crazy. We would look dumb as fuck. Like, as crazy as we went. Bro. But I don't think we would have went as crazy if, like, the place wasn't as loud as it was. Because it got fucking loud.
It did.
All you hear is, oh,
yep.
And fucking everybody screaming.
Like, everybody was on, like, the edge of their seat. Yeah. And, like, when they was doing, like, you know, like, walking up to the octagon, they got on the stage, they were doing, like, their little stretches and stuff, like, how they do the whole time. I'm sitting there, like...
Yeah, no, my fucking heart was
like I almost felt like I was them. I was like,
have you guys ever been to a live event?
Man, yeah, I have.
I've been to like WWE wrestling, but I've never been to UFC.
No, I've never been to UFC, but
I've been to like WWE wrestling, and it's
Well, even then, that's another thing where everybody
like that same like emotion and hypeness and like at football games and basketball
games. Who did you go watch fight?
When?
Yeah. Who was fighting?
Oh God, I've seen Triple H and The Undertaker.
Nice.
Hulk Hogan.
Like in their prime or like
so this was back in like the early 2000s when Russell was like 5 or 6 and we went to Dallas and Kansas City. We went to a wrestling event in Joplin, Missouri.
Yeah.
And, like, The Undertaker was there. It was, like, in this little old run-down building. Mm-hmm. It was so much fun, though. And, like, Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Rey Mysterio.
Bro, the Hardy Boys was my shit.
Yeah.
I was all about Jeff Hardy.
But, yeah, I've seen a lot of them. Like, all...
Yeah, my dad, he used to be a boxing coach. And they used to throw tournaments and stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. So I used to go to, like, a bunch of boxing matches when I was little. So I feel like that's why I'm so much of a boxing fan to this day. Because
boxing is a fucking huge sport too. I just at the end of the day, you give me boxing or MMA, I'm going MMA. There's just so much. I mean, boxing is exciting at the highest level. I mean, it can be exciting even for like amateurs who are good, but like I feel like you only get the really good like feeling and like excitement from like the Floyd Mayweathers, fucking Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Speaking of, did you see that they're about to announce Tyson versus Francis?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I've never seen Francis like box, you know, so I don't know,
he's got that Tyson, fucking crazy power.
He do, but Tyson is...
No, I know, Tyson's something different.
He different, like...
And then right after that, bro, Dana White is so petty. Like, this motherfucker is the king of petty.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as boxing or bare knuckle, whatever, as soon as somebody announces something big, he comes back with something big.
Yeah.
So they announce Francis and Tyson Fury about to make an announcement soon.
Yeah.
The same day, Dana was like, hey, y'all, I have John Jones and Stipe Miocic coming up in fucking December.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you just shit all over there. Fucking nobody's going to even notice it now.
It's a competition, man. Did you see where that clip where Francis and John Jones was like in each other's face? Like it was a clip. Like they was
It was at a boxing match, wasn't it?
Yeah, they was talking smack to each other, but you could like barely hear like what they were saying, but you could tell like it was intense because he was like something like, John Jones was like, I'm a dangerous man. Like, you don't want to step in the ring with me. And then, you know, Francis, he got like that accent, so you can barely hear what he's saying. And he was like, I'm dangerous too, whatever.
Francis like, is a fucking big, scary motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I don't think he beats Jones.
I don't think he beats Tyson in a boxing match,
I don't think if it's straight boxing, no. I think Tyson works his ass. Like, I think he... For one, is not going to stand and bang with Francis. You know, he's not going to be stupid. Francis has fucking crazy knockout power.
So then I'll come back to footwork. Cardio, footwork.
Patience, timing, counter shots.
And with UFC, it's not like you do have to have footwork, but I feel like it's not so much like as more as like boxing. Because you can, like, just kind of stand there in one spot and kind of kick and punch and then kind of
that's what I was going to say. With UFC, you do have to worry about actual feet. I mean, footwork is important, but you also can get kicked in the fucking face.
Yeah. But with boxing, like, they're on their toes.
Yeah, the whole time.
You know, that's what they do. Like, they're on their toes and they have to move and stuff. So, I feel like, I don't know, I've never seen Francis, like, fight like that. But Tyson.
No, he hasn't really fought. His last fight with Stipe Miocic was the best I've seen of Francis. It was very calm. It was calculated. He didn't rush like he normally does. Like, because I've seen Francis just bum rush the fucking people. Because all he needs is to connect with one, you know. But with Stipe, he was like very conservative, like calm, just waiting for his fucking time.
Yeah.
If he does that with Tyson, he might have a shot, but I still think Tyson puts the work on him. Tyson's just a fucking beast, though.
I'll let her see it, though. But speaking of boxing, because you did say Francis and Tyson, that was one of the two names that I was going to bring up. But I feel like it's getting as popular as UFC, right? I feel like it's already bigger than UFC, but I feel like the fights that they putting together, just like how UFC does, because UFC has that over boxing, like the way they like put their fight cards together and like the matches.
So they just have more exciting, like the 291.
That fight card is stacked,
from top to bottom. Even like the prelims, like if you're a real fan of MMA, of UFC, whatever, you're gonna watch that from the prelims to the fucking last fight.
Boxing
I've never seen a boxing card like that.
It's been a long time since it's been like stacked like that. But it's starting to get to that point.
Do you think they're doing it now, though, to compete with the UFC?
I think it is. So you got, do you know Caleb Plant?
Yeah.
So Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. I can't pronounce his last name. Benavidez.
Okay.
That was like one of the first wins right there. They like said it. So that was a big fight. And then you had, right after that, you had Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. So that was a big fight. And then you had the Devin Haney and the Lomachenko. So that was a big one. So those right there were like super big. But now they starting to like.
Because, see, why do they do that? Why are those so spread out? Like, why not have all three of them fights on one card and be a massive fucking just.
I feel like because they paid them too much. Like, because the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, like they getting $25 million a piece.
Yeah.
$25 million a piece. Plus they're getting pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That's way too much money.
Is it though?
Yeah. $25 million.
It makes me wonder what.
For one fight.
I want to know what is boxing. And then, okay, here's the thing with boxing too that we talked about before. There's not just like boxing. Like there's not like the UFC. You got the UFC. You have Bellator. You have one whatever. But boxing can be like the WBC championship. The fucking they have all these different, I guess, branches. You could say. So I wonder, like, what is the collective revenue for boxing? And can you even calculate it? Since there's so many different, like, I'm the champion of this.
Those divisions? Yeah. Well, I do know that they have to pay for their belts. So I know, like, if you have all 4 belts, like the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, WBC, and all that, you have to pay for those. So I can see why, since you have to pay to have the belts, why they would pay you so much.
Pay for the belt.
You have to pay to keep those belts. So once you win them, I think it's called a. I don't want to say the wrong thing, like a
holding fee, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. It's a name for it, but yes, it is. It's like a holding fee.
So
you have to.
You can't like take the belt and run off and sell it.
Okay, basically, yeah.
You have to pay for the thing
you have to pay
won?
To keep them. That's why.
That's
so
insane.
Floyd Mayweather talked about it in one of his interviews. He said that's why he never won it. He always like won one title in one division and then moved on to the next one. He never tried to like stay in a division and like keep all of them.
You don't want to keep paying for the belt. How expensive is it? Is it like crazy?
They're expensive. I'm pretty sure they in like.
So when they get up there and they got the double arm and the fucking belt, they're paying.
Yes.
For each of those fucking belts.
Yes, because every time you go to a press conference, it's promo. Number one.
Yeah,
it's promo. So that division, you're promoting. You're promoting that. Yeah.
So why would they have to pay for it?
You got to pay for promo.
No, promo is promotion. Promo is getting paid. You are doing this to get paid.
They're paying you. They're paying you to hold their belt, and then if you win, they pay you more money. That's why you're getting paid $25 million.
But then you're also paying for the belt itself that you won.
You gotta pay for.
That makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But
sense. Like the UFC, so like when
you gotta pay for promo. That's entertainment.
I think the UFC does like individual belts. So like when you get a belt, like Izzy was explaining it, you get the belt, you defend it, you get a little ruby in there. I don't know if you ever noticed, but they have like
those little diamonds,
the little rhinestones and shit, and that's for each one of your defenses. So you can't take that and then give that to somebody else I think you gotta give them either a whole new belt or what. You just pop all those fucking rhinestones out. Like, I don't know. Now I gotta see if UFC pays for belts.
Look it up. But you have to. It's like how she said. It's a holding fee.
That's so weird.
And there's so many different branches.
To pay a holding fee on something you won is what's weird to me.
Mm-hmm. So like when you're going up to like the press conferences or you're doing like a photo shoot and you got all those belts, like you have to pay to like take pictures and stuff like with those belts and hold them. But yeah.
Because they technically don't own the belt.
They don't.
The
division does. Yeah. Because if you lose, you give it away, and then you don't have to pay for it anymore. But you have to pay for it once you win.
And I bet that thing is insured too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But they said that the Terrence. Yeah. But the Terrence Crawford and the Errol Spence. Have you been watching any type of promo or anything?
That might be who I was talking to you about before before we started recording. When I was telling you about the boxer that I couldn't think of his name. I think it is Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they say that this is like the biggest fight that like boxing has ever like had because of like the hype, like social media, promo and everything. They've went on like crazy interviews. You know, you guys heard about like the Breakfast Club and all of that. Mm-hmm. So like they've been on that. They've been on USPN is promoting it like it's crazy. And that's why they making so much money on it because all of the promotion and stuff is going on. Like they getting $25 million a piece, which is crazy right now.
Crazy.
Yes.
So on the UFC ones, it says, "Do UFC fighters keep their belts after losing?" Yes, ex-UFC champions get to keep their old belts even after they relinquish their title.
Okay,
that means
so they
whether
get to
they
keep
lose
them.
a bout, forfeit the title, or even stripped of it, the belt is still theirs to keep.
Look up boxing.
What am I looking up? Like, how much is it to keep it, or what?
Yes. Well, ask, do you have to pay to keep the belts?
Real quick, did you see the Israel John Jones met up with each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, how fucking crazy was that? That they finally
squashed their beef. Yeah.
Yeah. It says boxers pay a sanctioning fee every time they receive a belt.
Doesn't say how much. Says what we need. We need a fucking like.
It's not that much. $1,500.
But what's that? Like every fight every month?
It doesn't break it down.
Yeah, I see it too. So $1,500.
But it's worth like the welterweight belt. It's worth more than $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got 3,017 emeralds in it.
Yep, that's the WBC. That's like the most anticipated belt.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a sanctioning fee.
Mm-hmm. See, so you have to pay for all that.
Okay, bro. I think boxing belts are ugly as shit too. I don't know why. I think they're all ugly. They look like
that Ring magazine belt. I don't know if you've seen that one. Like it's like an old school looking belt, like something that you would have like in the 50s or the 60s. I don't like that one.
Look it up. No, boxing belts look childish to me. Like they look like the ones you get at the store.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They don't look that
bad, bro. They look terrible.
You know what? I bet if you have one, you like it.
I mean, I'd rock it, but they just look. These all look like the fake.
Ring magazine belt.
These look like the childish fake.
That's the one I kept seeing.
Yeah, the WBC.
Yeah. But but they said whoever wins this fight, they said will be the most popular boxing in sports.
So like think about it like
pound for pound, no matter what weight class.
$1,500. You telling me?
Yeah, Josh Taylor. Yeah, I think he just got beat. I think.
That's another thing we talked about too. So like when they stand in that, he's got 5 belts right there.
Mm-hmm.
So when he fights and defends his belt, is he defending one belt or is he defending them all?
He's defending them all.
So
whoever fights him will become the undisputed.
They would get all those fucking belts. What the fuck is the point of having all the belts? I don't understand. But for what? Is it the same weight class?
Yeah.
You just keep winning new belts for the same weight class.
Mm-hmm. until you wipe out the division. And then that's for boxers. That's what they do. They want to wipe out the whole division. They want to get all the belts.
How many belts is there for one weight class in boxing?
Well, there's a bunch of fake ones.
What?
Like, so there's like it is. So like they have like the lineal champion. They have like the what's the one where like if somebody like forfeits. It's a bunch of different like weird names.
Like the interim for UFC?
Yeah, like the interim belts, the lineal champion. There's like one like if a champion gets sick or something like that, or he has a death in the family, and then he like.
Okay, besides all that though,
the real ones.
Yeah, how many real belts?
There's 4
in each weight class.
Ones, yeah.
Is that because there's 4 different boxing promotions?
Yes.
So that's why.
Yes.
So
you
it's
have
like
the WBC.
Okay.
The WBA, the IBF, and the WBO.
Okay, so it would be like if like boxing has all these branches. That would be like saying MMA. You would have the UFC belt, you would have the Bellator belt, you would have the One Championship belt.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it is. It's the different promotions, same weight class.
Mm-hmm.
That's silly.
It's not.
I think that's very fucking silly.
It's not.
It's dumb as shit.
It's not. You want to have all the belts.
No, I get it, but you should have to, like in UFC, if you want multiple belts, you're going up or down in a weight class to get another belt.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get the runner-up belt.
Yeah, you can be like, for boxing, it's like, let's say 147.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be like, I'm the undisputed champion at 147. Undisputed means you got all the belts, then you go up to 154. I'm the undisputed champion at 154. You take all those belts, now you got 8.
That's still silly. The only thing I respect is
at 160.
The 2 going up. You get the first one at the weight class. But how the fuck? I just don't get it. It makes no fucking sense. Because means...
And there's so many fighters, too. There's 4 different divisions, or I guess organizations or promotions. And then there's so many fighters. So you can, like UFC, you might have, what's in the weight classes, who has the most? There's probably maybe 10, 15 fighters in a...
Fighters?
So, featherweight.
I mean, you got
20.
Top 10 is just the rank. So they got...
Right. So in boxing, you probably got...
I know boxing has a whole
at 147,
fighters,
you probably got 50 fighters at 147. You beat all 50 fighters. Then you move up to 154. You probably got 60 fighters at 154. See, because you can be like 30 and 0. You can be 30 and 0 and still be like, man, I got 30 more people I got to beat.
If I'm the champion at 145, how the fuck is somebody else the champion at 145 also?
Because it's a different organization.
No, I mean, I get it,
but I get it. That's why you want to try to beat everybody. So you can be like, I'm the WB. I get what you're saying, though. I do. I get what you're saying.
It's so weird. Because that means that you have more than one champion in the weight class.
Yeah.
So that would be like in UFC, like right now. Izzy's the champ. So that means Dricus Du Plessis would be the fucking champ.
Yeah.
That means Robert Whittaker would be the champ.
Yeah.
Like how does that doesn't make
you
no
said
sense.
The Bellator, so yeah, Robert Whittaker can be the Bellator champ.
But see, UFC don't allow that. They don't allow people to go fight unless Dana approves it, and he's only done it one time with Conor McGregor, and he said he'll never do it again. You know, the whole boxing. He said it was a fucking headache. It was way too much. Dealing with Floyd is terrible, he said.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Conor made it like that, though.
Oh, God,
Conor probably made it like that.
So I just looked up how many fighters are on the UFC roster, and there's 578 fighters on the roster.
Wow.
It's quite a bit.
That's, way more than what I thought.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. How many is in boxing?
Does that include women?
1,500.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't know.
Because there is technically 3 women weight classes, but I think one's about to go away because the champion just retired.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what am I looking up? How many boxers?
Mm-hmm.
But see, I can't say on the roster because it's probably going to say like what roster.
How many fighters are in the sport of boxing?
Yeah, it's giving me a whole bunch of no, it's not even able to answer it.
I don't even know.
Actually, let's go pro. Approximately 20,000. active professional boxers and over 1,000 professional MMA athletes in the world. That's insane. That's fucking crazy. Okay, so goes back to my
He's
point.
like the way you put your phone down. That's insane.
This makes the question even more. Why the fuck can they not put on a card? They have 20,000 fighters.
Because they give the fighters too much money. That's my opinion. That's what I think.
Okay, so you think cut the fighters' pay in boxing and put on
the fighters ain't gonna.
Of course,
all you boxers out there,
yeah,
y'all ain't gonna like this, but y'all need to get y'all paid.
But if they're making, you said $25 million, the Terrence Crawford, okay,
doing this, they say $25 million. Okay. They say the contract was worth $50 million, and they're gonna split it down the middle.
So that's.
And they say
that's the minimum they're getting because that's not counting promotions, that's not counting sponsors, all this shit. That's not counting pay-per-view shares if they get that.
I think they do. And I think there's like a rematch clause.
Of course, there always is with boxing. I just...
of course
there is. There's fucking... That's how boxing does, yeah. I mean, UFC kind of does the same. It's not... They don't have clauses like in their fucking contract. Like, if you lose, you fucking lose. If they think you're good, like... For Kamaru Usman, when he lost to Leon Edwards, he was so dominant in his weight class. You had to give him the rematch. You know, it's not like he got. I mean, he did get fucking head kicked, KO'd, but up until that point, he was doing decent. You know, if it would have went to decision, he would have won it.
Yeah.
So yes, they gave him the rematch. The odds of UFC ex-champions winning their belt back in a rematch is very low. I think it's like 16%. Very fucking low. So, like, for Izzy to do it, it's, you know, wild.
Bro.
Yeah. I know, I'm telling you.
I get goosebumps probably 5 years from now, if we would come back and talk about that fight, I probably have the same type of feeling as if I watched it. Like, I get goosebumps just talking about it, man.
I was so
like, where he does, like, those little arrows, like he knocks him out, and then he's just like, oh, and he just like, and
he fucking goes, makes fun of the kid, bro.
Yeah, bro, like that's just crazy. The hammerfish from the gods, like when you just like, boom, boom, like. Man, if you would have been there, like, the whole time, we like, oh, and then when that knockout happened, we go,
I'm kind of glad she didn't come. I would have been embarrassed as fuck, bro. I was embarrassed, like, once I seen my keys, like,
he took his keys
because it was
some of them motherfucking bitches.
I probably would have been up and screaming with you, like.
It was such like.
You've never seen me like get excited over it. You don't even.
Everybody got cussed out in a friendly way. In a friendly way, like if you was there, you motherfucker, it's just crazy.
I can't think of another fight that
like
man. I had that emotion with.
It was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
I get very emotional over sports.
Mm-hmm.
I too. Very much so.
So I don't do it so much with like basketball and football. It's just because
it's different.
That game is so drawn out. Like, I get it down to the wire. It's very emotional. Like, the last 15 seconds. Especially if they're tied. Like, that's when you're like, you know. But in UFC or fighting or boxing, you get that at all times because at any moment it can be done.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, one, boom.
Duh.
I mean, look at Izzy. He was up against the cage, and it looked exactly like the way he lost the first time. Exactly.
And it's like you went from like sad to like happy in like
bro, you was actually getting
seconds.
Up and like you was acting like you
I was because we thought he was gonna lose because just like how Wes said, it was like the repeat of the last one because like the last one like Izzy gets backed up on the cage. Like, Alex is like, boom, 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 boom. And, like, he looks like he's about to get knocked out again. And, like, I didn't want to see that. So, right when that happened, like, we grabbed it. I'm like, we about to leave, man. I'm like, because he's about to get knocked out. And then we turned around, and we're like,
and you hit him with the first one.
Yeah, we're like, oh.
That's all I remember. Yeah.
Like whoever was beside me, you're my mother. I strangle my wife.
I wish I would have been there.
I killed her. I killed her, but I don't care.
So you really need security footage for your defense trial.
Yes. That's why I need the footage.
Hey, my wife said
I need
to hit her with the chair. I
need the footage. I don't want no evidence.
I don't know. I was really trying to think of another time that like a fight has had me that emotional, and I can't really think of one. Like the Conor fights are great. The Jose Aldo fight was crazy, but still, it wasn't.
It's certain. So for you, is it like, do you get that excited with like certain fighters or like every?
Oh, there's definitely certain fighters that I always get nervous for. Sean O'Malley, like he's got one coming up in August. Yeah, Sean O'Malley's my favorite. Izzy always. I would probably say Conor.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen Conor fight in years. It feels like, I think 2021 is when he fought Dustin, broke his leg.
Yeah, it's been
a minute. They're saying he can
mad about that fight. Yeah, because Dustin was like acting like he won like fair and square. He was like, "Yeah, I beat him."
He won because Conor couldn't continue, but he didn't beat Conor.
But yeah.
And
so but the way he was acting, he was like, like I won fair and square.
Well, he tried to say that he checked the kick, and that's what broke the leg. Oh. Yeah, he was like, man, one of them kicks he threw, I checked it, and I felt it crack, and I'm like, man, come on, bro, just stop capping. Like, just be honest, be like,
yeah, and you can tell like the emotion of like Conor, like he was sad.
Bro, he was
mad
still
at
talking
the same
shit.
time, because he was on the ground, like holding it, like
foot sideways, motherfucker.
And like I didn't want to see like
send me DMs. Hit me up later, baby.
And I didn't want to see him go out like that because you can tell he was trying to continue, like he was trying to get up, and he was like I can't. I was just like, dang.
What's sad is before the fight, Conor made the statement that Dustin was going to leave on a stretcher, and then fucking Conor leaves on the stretcher. It's just like, damn. Fucking the fighting game is crazy. Yeah. Anything can fucking happen at any time.
UFC got it over boxing. Like, for that, like, the excitement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everything. I can't see how UFC ain't
I just don't think boxing is the same anymore. It's not.
Yeah, it's not, all. Man. All right, music awards.
Which ones? I ain't
see that?
Nope.
Like the pop.
Mm-mm.
Haven't seen it?
Nope.
Hip hop.
I haven't seen nothing about them.
Nothing.
No.
Okay.
Who won what?
No music awards. All right, so I'm gonna throw some stuff out there.
Who awards is it? Is it like the Grammys? Is it MTV? Is it?
It's MTV/BET.
They're doing
music
together
awards.
now. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, they did it together.
So who won what?
Wait, that's going on tonight, right?
This one happened 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in June.
Yeah.
So best female R&B / pop artist. I'm gonna throw some out there. Doja Cat wasn't even in it.
She wasn't?
No. So you have Lizzo.
Okay.
Coco Jones.
Don't even know her.
Beyonce.
Oh, okay.
Her. I love her.
Yep.
I love
SZA.
Her.
So you think won?
SZA won.
Her.
So,
no.
It was SZA.
Yeah,
she won.
SZA's on fire right now.
Then best male R&B / pop artist. You had Chris Brown, Usher, Burna Boy, Drake, and The Weeknd. What do you think?
It's gotta be Drake or The Weeknd. I'm going with Drake.
Best male R&B and pop artist.
I'd say The Weeknd.
Neither one.
Chris Brown.
Damn, really? Yeah. That surprises me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It only surprises me because he hasn't really put out any music lately that...
I think most of his stuff is politics.
I just kind of thought The Weeknd with like the Idol and everything, but that's probably why he didn't win, honestly, because of all the controversy he's gotten around that shit.
I want to watch it.
I watched it. I binge watched it yesterday. Yeah, it was.
Dude, the clips that I've seen is so funny.
Yeah,
like when the dude's like touching the girl.
It's good. It's fucked up, but it's good. Like I can see why people are so upset about it, but I'm just like,
I want to watch it.
It's TV.
So what are the categories we got?
Best male hip hop artist.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar, 21 Savage, Drake, Future, J. Cole, Jack Harlow, and Lil Baby.
That's a hard one. Ooh. That's a hard one.
I'm going with K Dot. It's either got to be K Dot or Cole, but I'm going with K Dot.
K Dot.
Yeah.
I was mad on that one.
Why? Who'd you want?
Well, because Kendrick Lamar only drops like once every 3 or 4 years.
But when he drops, bro, he fucking like nobody's
he's not
fucking
the most consistent.
No, he's not. I'll give you that. But he's the most consistent with putting out classics. J. Cole's not. There's albums of J. Cole I can't even play shit on. Like
that last one, or was it the one before last? Where
I hated the KOD.
Yeah, that one.
I hated KOD.
Is that the one where he kind of has like the crown on and stuff?
King Overdose.
Yeah,
I hated that one. There's nothing I liked about KOD.
I was surprised Drake didn't get it.
Have you seen Drake's tour?
Yeah, I've heard stuff about it. Like a fan caught some sperm or something.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't hear about that?
Wait. Hold on.
Yes,
I think you're misunderstanding the thing.
His tour.
I know he had like sperm flying. He didn't like catch.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's Drake wasn't like that.
Yeah. But like they
start from the bottom. I'm here.
Yeah. So headlines. They said like a fan or something like it. I don't know. It could have just been like because headlines like clickbait, but it said like fan catches sperm at Drake tour or something.
Google searches.
And I was like, what?
I'm Googling Drake sperm.
Oh God! You're gonna come up with images of sperm with Drake's face on it.
It's like that.
Yeah,
I don't know what. But that thing was huge. Like,
why would you have that extra show anyway?
I don't know. And then like it did like a few.
That's a moment.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what song it played to or what I don't know if it's about life, but yeah. But okay, so I was gonna say about his tour. So he just performed in Detroit, and he did Knife Talk with 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Well, it is a tour with 21 Savage.
Yeah.
It's him and 21.
21.
Bro, he comes out with the fucking Eminem style fucking hockey mask and the fucking like butcher's apron. Like, I don't know. It was just cool to see him like pay homage to Eminem in Detroit. And he says he got an album coming out. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
It's called what? For All the Dogs or something? Or
it's a weird name. But
why? He says it's the old Drake too. He's like, everybody's been saying y'all miss the old Drake. So I got y'all. Y'all want them songs like to stone your ex, to fucking flex with your friends. Like, I'm bringing old Drake back.
I like the rapping Drake. I don't really like
I like the melodic.
The melodic Drake.
I like melodic Drake.
I like when he does it, like when he switches it up. Like he'll do like melodic and then like the beat will change and then he'll start rapping. Because he's one of like the best artists that can do that. Like one particular song, like he'll
and going home.
So I like that.
Because even the song I sent you, I don't know if you listened to it last night, the Whippin' Tahoe, like it's just melodic, and but it's the message in the song. Like he's talking to a girl and he's like, "I'm gonna fuck about your past, like all that shit, like dead to me. Like I can't be ashamed of you for any fucking thing because like I care for you so much." So. That's why I like melodic Drake, because he can give you that shit, man. You just sit and fucking,
story of your life, huh?
It feels
story
like...
of your life. That's why I started smelling. I was like, that's why he liked that song. He's like, I like this song right now. It's hitting home right now.
Emotional songs.
Best female artist.
Okay.
Cardi B, Glorilla, Ice Spice, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, and Mulatto.
It's gotta be either Ice Spice or Glorilla.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Nicki. Probably way off, but
Mulatto.
It was Mulatto?
Yeah, she won it.
Damn, okay. Shout out Mulatto.
I know. We already said male artists. It was K Dot. Best album of the year. Renaissance and the SOS by Beyonce and SZA that won it. But the nominations was 21 Savage and Drake. Their album was called Her Loss.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that album.
Kendrick's album. And then you had God Did, which is DJ Khaled's album. And then you had Chris Brown's album, and then you had Glorilla's album.
What is Chris Brown's album?
Breezy.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's the last one he released. Okay. I think it was a couple years old.
That was more like rappy, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then they even had the best movie as a category, too. They had Black Panther, the Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
They had Nope, Creed 3, The Woman King, and the tribute to Whitney Houston that I Want to Dance with Somebody.
That was a good movie.
What you think?
It's either going to be Wakanda Forever or Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
but
it's the Wakanda Forever, sure. That one. But yeah, and then that's it. But that's for
I still haven't watched Black Panther all the way through. Not even the first one.
It's good.
They're good.
It's good.
I couldn't get into it.
It's good.
I like them.
Have you seen the newest one?
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Same with Nope. I haven't seen Nope.
You haven't seen Nope?
I haven't seen that one. I want to see it. Is it good?
Yes.
I want to see it.
I keep hearing this, but I'm also hearing like
you know what we're doing later, right?
The thing that happens is
nope. No, we do it later, right? Nope.
So someone didn't give it away to me. They wouldn't give me the answer like what it was, but they was like it hints to it.
It does.
And so it like makes you don't think about it because it doesn't hint it to it, but then that's what it ends up being. So like I was like, so is it aliens? And they was like,
nope.
Can't tell you. Like, yeah. I don't know.
I want to see it. But
I'm trying to think of a movie I want to watch. I want to watch Flash. I want to watch Spider-Verse.
I seen that 2 weeks ago.
Dope.
We seen Flash. Mm-hmm.
Is it really good?
It's really good.
It was really funny. Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's good, man.
So,
and I love Ezra Miller too. He did a great job.
He's just fucking insane.
He is crazy, but I still like him.
Batshit crazy. So did Michael Keaton, was his Batman like predominantly the Batman in the movie, or was like Ben Affleck in there too?
Ben Affleck was in it for like 10 minutes maybe at the beginning, and then it was mostly Michael Keaton.
Is it because he went to a different?
Well, yeah, Flash goes back in time to a part where he wasn't Flash yet.
Okay.
And like he's trying to save, because
why didn't they do the fucking Flashpoint paradox?
Yeah. Do you know Flash's story about like his parents and stuff, dying and stuff? Mm-hmm. So he goes back in time to try to save it, but then he realizes that if he changes like stuff in the past, it can like also like alter stuff in the future.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah. So.
Man, if they would have done the Flashpoint paradox though, it would have been such a better movie. And that's what I thought they were going for. So in the comics, basically same thing. He's trying to go back and save his parents.
Mm-hmm.
But when he goes back, he goes to this different universe and meets Batman. And Batman's different. He's like killing.
Guns, but he's not killing.
Well, here's the thing, though. Couldn't find out. Batman is Thomas Wayne. And that night that they got robbed, Bruce Wayne got killed. So Thomas Wayne, the dad, becomes Batman, and the mom becomes Joker.
Whoa.
Flashpoint paradox.
So there is some things like that in this movie where, like, it's not Superman, it's his cousin.
Yeah.
Instead.
What's her name? Her name's
Kara.
Kara, yeah. I knew it was something.
And then, like, Batman's different, and then, I mean, I don't want to give too much of the movie
So there's
away,
multiple Flashes that I've seen in the previews. Is one like buff or is it a suit? Is that what it is?
Yeah, his suit makes him.
Well, like one looks like a jacked fucking Flash.
Well, one's older than the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that part where he's like, my face.
Yeah.
It's like, my face. It's like, you have my face. Like, that part was funny. Like, because I get. It's good. It's good. So, Flash, Guardians of the Galaxy.
What? I keep inviting you to movies, and you're always like, no.
That's my thing, man. Movies.
I love movies. Yes. I go to movies by myself.
I can't think of the last movie I want to watch.
That's a hardcore movie fan right there. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. Have you seen any of those?
Just not.
That's good.
I don't know.
No? What do you like?
I mean, I like movies, but there's nothing that like has made me want to go to the theater. Like the Flash, yes, I want to see Flash.
Creed? You like the Creed franchise?
I'm not going to go to the theater to watch Creed.
I was disappointed in the third one.
It's definitely the worst one out of all of them, but
it was still good.
Yeah.
Like, I still went and saw it.
Or dude keeps getting hit with all these fucking charges and shit. Like, rape and assault charges.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is, like, you fucked up the whole movie. And nobody's gonna want to watch this shit now because you're a rapey motherfucker.
Did he get charged though? Did he get found guilty?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't think he has.
He hasn't even gotten charged.
Yeah, it's all just like allegations. But like we said before, bro, allegations is like the first thing you hear is the thing you're gonna stick to.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know why, but that's just how we are.
Yeah.
Like, we hear somebody got, I don't know, caught with like drugs or something, and we're like, oh, they're a druggie, and then they're like, well, it wasn't even mine. It was like in the car. It was a rental, you know. But it sticks. So
that's how I thought the Archie situation, like how they blew up like the headlines, or whatever. But I personally know Archie, so I was kind of like.
And that's why, like, it's good to let him be able to tell his. Oh yeah, and like I went back and recently because somebody was asking about our podcast, and they was like, "What do y'all talk about?" I said, "Man, we talk about everything." I sent them the little news article. You know, argument leads to man getting shot in Fort Smith. I was like, we interviewed the shooter, who is my brother, let him tell his story. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, but when you say shooter, they're like, "Oh, he shot somebody."
Yes, it automatically
makes
you go.
But then you're like,
or the shooter, why are you interviewing the guy like committing crime? But if you hear the story,
fun.
Like,
not
like I
want to. Yeah, I want to interview a real serial killer.
I do want to like.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. Be like,
I don't know about serial killer, but I want to get like a hardcore like drug addict and talk to him. I want to see like why do you keep up with this lifestyle? Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah,
I got some questions.
Know too. See, and I have experience, bro. I'm an addict. Once an addict, always an addict. It's like, it's just, that's what it is. Like, you may stop doing it, but there's always that, like you're on the edge at all times. And all it takes is one fuck up and you're right back down, you know, in the shitty spot. But to stop it is what I don't understand why people don't. You see people going homeless, going to prison, like my cousin for one. Like, and I ain't talked to him the whole time, and I feel like shit for it. But, like, I feel like I can't. Like, I tried to reach out to him when he was out and, you know, running the streets. And people are calling me like, oh, he slumped over the steering wheel in the shooter's parking lot. We think he's dead. He won't move. Bro, I'm having to jump up and, like, head to fucking shooters.
Yeah.
And, like, then they're calling me before I got there, and they're like, oh, he fucking, like, woke up and took the fuck off, like, sped out of here. Like, stories like that, man, that's not who the fuck I know.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not the dude I grew up with. It's fucking, it sucks. But
they don't know who they are.
I think they get lost in who they are. I think.
Do you think they notice that their life is, like, going downhill? Like, remember, like, when I was like, do they see themselves in the mirror? Do they look at themselves in the mirror like, I look fucked up?
I think.
Like,
part. I think so gradual. You don't notice why it's happening, but I do think there's a day when like you just like you look around you and you're like, what the fuck? Like everything's different. Like you're sleeping on a fucking air mattress in somebody's fucking house or an abandoned house or
do they know?
Don't know. That's why I want to talk to them. Like, I want to ask like, why do you?
Where's my bed? Where's my real bed?
Yeah.
This ain't my house, or do they even care?
Bro, another thing is, like, think about it. You have homeless people on drugs, but yet they still get money for drugs. So these motherfuckers ain't, like, lazy. Like, they're hustlers. And they're going to get it somehow.
Where I work, they bring it in there all the time. They'll sell their kids bad, too.
For real?
Yeah.
Like, they
they'll come in with, like, the weirdest stuff. And I'm like, we don't even sell that. You know, whatever. I'll take it somewhere else. But it's like, it's sad though. It's sad.
Bro, that's sad. Like, I almost want to be like, I'm like, bro, I almost want to buy a PS4 for it. You're like $40. I'm like, get fucked. Get fucked. No, like
some people. I've seen some people like buy stuff for like $700-800, and then we'll be like, man, we'll give you not even half that, and they be like, take it.
Yeah,
and I'll be like,
that's wild. They'd been better off going to a pawn shop. Like, just be honest. That's wild shit.
Man, you could tell, man. I've heard some stories, man. Like, gotta pay for a medical bill or the rent. The rent is due. Just
that's another thing, man. I feel like the way this shit is going right now, like the economy, I feel like shit is not set up for us to survive. There's just no fucking way.
It's not.
Like she's works in like real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what she does, and now has a whole nother job because like real estate just. I mean, who can buy a fucking house right now?
Yeah.
And it's just. It's not even who can buy a house, bro. It's like who can afford groceries these days after paying everything.
Ridiculous.
It's crazy. Like even I'm sure with even just like you and Taylor, like y'all go shopping, you spend whatever y'all spend.
Mm-hmm.
And you get home and you're like, damn, what did we spend? Like what did we get?
All the time.
Like we spent damn near $200, but I have nothing to show for it. I got a fridge full of condiments.
I got to go back to the grocery store next week. But when we do it, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive. But we'll try to shop for like the whole month.
Damn.
Like, yeah, we have to. We can't afford to go every week, every 2 weeks. So we'll split everything down the middle.
So
probably 150 a piece. Well, a month, it depends because like let's say the first time we'll fill it with like meats, like straight meats.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll probably
dinner shit.
Yeah, we'll try to plan it out. We'll say, all right, this week chicken, steak, whatever. We'll fill the whole fridge up with meats. And of course you gotta have your snacks because you're not gonna want to cook every night. No. Just some nights when you come home, like I don't feel like cooking. So we'll have like microwavable stuff like Hot Pockets, little mini pizzas, chips, whatever.
Yeah.
But on an average, if it's not meat month, we don't spend as much. But on a meat month, $400 or $500 probably for the month. Easy. See, because we'll start. I'll be like, once you get to like the sixth item, you're like $200. You're like, what?
Well, I can go in and buy laundry detergent, Downy, paper towels, toilet paper, and spend $100.
Yes.
That's $100 right there.
And that's not even food.
And that's not even food. Mm-hmm. Like, and you have to have those things. Like, you can't not wash your clothes and.
Yeah. So we'll rotate. So like how you said, like 1 month when we go, it'll be that stuff like necessities, like house stuff, deodorant, soap, toothpaste, stuff like that. Yeah. But we have a Sam's Club card, so we'll get them in like bulks.
Smart.
So like toothpaste, it'll come in like a 6-pack or a 4-pack.
So I do the same thing when I go and buy shit like that. And like when I was married, like my wife never did that. She would buy like a thing of toothpaste. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why not get the 4-pack? Because you're gonna need it later. Mm-hmm. Same thing with like toilet paper. Like get the big pack, paper towels, whatever. Like I would always rather buy like
the paper towels. They like
if I buy the single thing, it's because I'm trying to save money. I can't
and I get that. Yeah.
I'm a single mom with 2 kids. I cannot afford to buy in bulk. I have to go buy a single thing of toothpaste.
Bro, legit. Like after paying rent, I had $30. Bro, I took 15 to get like the little food I could, and then like I got 15 I'm putting back for gas, and like I'm hoping that lasts a week. And that shit, like, I feel like.
So you buy your kids stuff too, right?
Yeah. So
kids stuff.
Yeah.
Groceries.
And there's some like this week is like I'm like it's gonna be tight. Like ain't no fast food. Like. Ain't gonna be a whole lot of extra, and then next week's gonna be even worse. It's her birthday, so like, I done got majority of like the birthday shit. Like I got all that done planned out, got the building paid for, all that's good. Mm-hmm. But now I still have to do like, I gotta give her money.
I mean, you having a birthday party in the backyard?
I tried.
Sorry. Sorry.
I did.
Bring your friends over here. Balloons.
Bro, I got a big ass backyard too. Like
right
my shit is fucking.
Why can't I have a building?
It's
yeah.
What
you mean? Why can't you?
I was like, we got a
building. Why should you have a building? That should be the real question. Why you want a building? Because my friends can come. They can come right here.
What'd you do your birthdays when you was a kid? What was birthdays? What was a birthday party for
roller
you?
Skating rink.
Yeah, that skating rink.
Mine was a lot. Creek one.
Yeah.
A lot.
Relatives still have, my relatives still have birthday parties at Creekmore.
That's
and then like the little building in there, I think it's free.
No, you gotta pay for it. And you gotta reserve it too.
I thought it was free.
On the inside of Creekmore?
Mm-hmm. No. A couple times I went. Well, I don't know, but that building right there, they said it was free.
It might have been free for you. Must be nice. Bitch ass.
Should tell me.
I couldn't even get nobody on the phone, and finally when I did, they were like, the closest opening we have is November. I'm like, yeah, okay, bye. Like, and this was like in fucking early June. I was trying to get for like July. But yeah,
I don't think the times we did it, I don't think we paid.
So I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Where would they get the revenue from? Like, why wouldn't they charge?
I think they own the building.
Well, I get they own it, but if it's just a free park for people to come and play and use their facilities like water and
we bring our own stuff though. Like they have like a little grill thing.
Dump in a fucking tub and take it home with you, or did you use their bathroom?
We use the bathroom.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. All that cost. So I don't know.
You gotta pay to use the bathroom. $500.
Man.
But we're not gonna use your water fountains. We're just gonna use the bathroom. All right, just the bathroom. $500.
Bro,
it's like what?
I walked into a gas station one time. Went into piss. All I did, bro, piss. I don't even think I flushed. I just pissed.
They stopped you.
And I fucking left. And he was like, "Do you need help or something?" And I was like, "Oh no, man, I was using the bathroom." He's like, "Can I come to your house and use the bathroom when I need to? Can I use your facilities?" I was like, "Bro, it didn't cost you nothing. I didn't do anything." He's like, "It cost my water." I was like, "I didn't even flush. It didn't cost you nothing. I'll wait for the next person to take a shit or something. Like, you don't need to fucking."
Even if you didn't flush, it's gonna cost me to have to clean it out.
I was like, "Do you want me to buy something?" And he like just stood there and like looked at me. I don't know if he's the owner or what, but I was like,
I was like,
"Do you want me to buy something?" And I just stood like this. And he didn't say nothing. I'm just like. You start backing out the door.
I've noticed though a lot of gas station workers get offended if you want to use their gas station. If it's a small independent one, if it's like a come and go or something, they don't care.
No, because that's just people working for fucking.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a couple of them that are
over there by Ben Garen. He was not having it.
Oh yeah, that gas station over there.
That's the one right up from Ben Garen.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I go use the bathroom all the time. I was saying that.
Dude was not having it, bro.
Yeah, man, you asked to pay for a building and they give it to me for free.
Yeah, see, must be a black thing, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe
you're just scared of looking, bro. You just walk in.
It's turning around for him.
Yeah, he just walk in. He's like, "I'm gonna take a shit." Dude's like, "Oh yeah, you are."
About time. Usually they be like, "No, you gotta pay." But I'm like, they giving it. They feel for us.
Yes.
It's your fucking reparation.
Yes.
You get free toiletries.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Take a shit, son.
Yeah, sure.
Do you need help wiping your ass?
Thank you. Whoa.
Two fingers.
Yeah. Whoa. Feel got a good. Whoa.
Swirl that motherfucker.
That's funny.
Go ahead and get your prostate played with one time.
Funny.
Change your life.
Did you know J. Cole is now owner of the Charlotte Hornets now? Yep. I felt like that was a big move.
Why would you buy a shitty team?
Maybe he's trying to rebuild.
I'm sure, but it's Charlotte is North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Hometown.
Yeah, he's from. So I get it, but why?
Why wouldn't you? He's big and he likes sports. He even I think he tried to attempt to go
the G League or something.
Mm-hmm. Does he still play?
I don't know if he still does.
I know he tried to.
Yeah. He didn't do very good.
Yeah.
He made like 4 points or something. Like, it wasn't great.
He scored.
Yeah. If I try to fuck 100 girls and I get one, like, yeah, I scored, but I lost 99. Come on now. Like,
you got one.
No.
No.
He didn't do good.
He had 99 problems.
Yeah. But only won one.
There you go. But yeah, I think that's big.
I guess. I just don't see why investing into a shitty team. I get the hometown.
Because Michael,
you can turn it around.
You can. Michael Jordan, I think when he first bought it, he bought it for $175 million, and then he sold it for $3 billion.
Michael Jordan bought
Yes.
The Hornets.
When it was the Bobcats, because they changed the name, so it was the Charlotte Bobcats. Michael Jordan bought it at that time. They were they still bad, but they were really, really bad then. And he bought it for $175 million. Now the team is worth $3 billion because that's how much he sold it for. And J. Cole has a stake in it now. He owns a percentage of it.
What percentage?
I don't think they said. I don't think it was. It's out in the public.
Is it like he bought like a little share of it? Like he gave him like 12,000 for something worth $3 billion, because that ain't much. Like you don't get.
They didn't say that part. They just says he owns like a.
I'm sure he bought a major part of it.
Yeah. But they made it seem big. I think however much it is,
like
if he got a big
buying
part,
the Nets and moving them to Brooklyn, that was big. But they also had a decent team. It wasn't like trash. Just like I said, I understand the hometown. I understand like the nostalgia shit, but I just don't understand why this shitty team. Like if you were gonna buy a team or buy into a team, why not buy a team that you know is gonna sell? Like does Drake? He did have a partnership with the Raptors, but was he like an owner in any way?
Probably the same thing. He probably had like a.
So it says that J. Cole is part of a group that took over part of Michael Jordan's majority stake. So he owns it. He owns the Hornets.
So him and some other fucking
a couple other guys,
billionaire type people. Okay.
So if he's like, so does it say like majority owner?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It's a minority shareholder of the team, not a majority.
He's a minority shareholder, so that means he doesn't own much.
Because he's part of a group.
Yeah.
So.
And think about that group. That group could be 30 people. It could be 10 people. It could be 3 people.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't just be like, all right, I'm going to give you 5,000.
I don't see that either.
Probably gonna
J.
put
Cole,
in
but that's
like
what I'm saying.
something.
Like, I wonder.
I think that's big.
It is big. I just hope it doesn't, like, he does it for nothing. Like, I hope this team doesn't just, like, shit the fucking bed like they've been doing.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully they get a fucking championship or at least go to the finals. Or win a division.
They was doing okay because...
Who do they even have?
Well, their star player is one of the Ball brothers, LaMelo Ball.
Okay, that's right.
And when he's hurt now, but when he was healthy, they were doing okay.
Was he hurt? What's wrong?
I think like an ankle or something like that, or a leg.
Broke or sprain or?
He missed a lot of games, like a lot of games. So,
did you see where all the re-signings in the NBA? Did you see how much fucking Kyrie Irving got signed for?
Yeah,
it was
crazy amount.
Fucking like.
But wasn't it like?
I think it was.
It was in the 4. Wasn't it like 400 million or 300 million?
It was high as fuck. Way higher than what I thought.
That's crazy too. So going back to like boxing, 25 million. Then you got basketball players. They sign contracts like for max deals. What if it's like $5 million for like, or 5-year, 300 million?
I think his was only like a 4 or 3 year fucking deal.
That's crazy money.
Yes.
Crazy money, man.
And think about it. So like,
just for dribbling a basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I like sports. But
I don't know.
They can buy a town. They can buy a city.
They can buy a lot of shit. They can buy a whole lot of shit. Same thing with
They make more than doctors.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what's so crazy. And like, the fact that that's still going on in today's economy, like we are still able to pay like people who do something that's, I don't want to say not beneficial, because it is like an outlet for like stress relief and whatnot for some people. I mean, other people, it can be stressful. Like if you take that shit like to heart, your team losing, it can, fuck you up. But I just don't see how we're able to do this when people are fucking starving.
So if you make that much money,
I'll never have that much money. And if I have that much money, I will not have it for long.
You would give it away?
100%.
Who would you give it to?
People in need, my family. I know this. Like, bro, anytime I've had like a lump sum of money, we talked about this. Mm-hmm. Like, I had like $10,000 from income tax. Like years ago, last time we got income tax, I got like $10K. And bro, it was gone so quick, just from like people being like, "Damn man, I'm short on this." I'm like, "Here's a bill. Here's a bill." Mm-hmm. Somebody called me up, asked to borrow $100. I took them $4. Like, I'm never.
Stop giving your money away.
What about you?
Yeah.
I would definitely help people, for sure. I've always wanted to open like a homeless shelter for veterans and stuff.
Okay.
That's something that's always been important to me. So that's what I would probably end up doing if I won the lottery.
That would be so much money though, like we talked about on episode 3.
Yeah.
How much money that would take.
But still, I'd rather. I mean, I would. Don't get me wrong. I'd spend money on myself, and I would take care of my family and stuff first. But I would definitely
give you go big house, or would you go small, sustainable?
I would go probably with what I have now. Honestly, I love my house now. I don't need anything bigger. It's just me, and I would travel. I would not.
I think I'd do like a tiny home, possibly like a traveling tiny home.
Yeah, I would like convert like a van or something and travel. I would do road trip, and I'd fly. Like I would travel. That's what I would do.
That's a goal. Like, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they're able to like make money and do that. I guess it's like a work from home type thing. Mm-hmm. But like that's what they do. They just like live out of a van. It's got like a bed, a little stove, and they just fucking go. And like, man, that life seems so fucking free. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, you have to work, but you're not confined by like. Did you see where people? So not just like residential real estate, but commercial real estate is now upside down because people that were commuting to go to work, like a building, say you worked in a building, and then COVID happened and they started working from home, they don't want to go back to the building. And they're sitting like some employers have no choice but to let these people work from home because they're refusing to come into the office. They're like, hey, you done let me work from home.
Yeah.
I'm able to do my job. I'm able to do it like
better sometimes.
Yes, sometimes like better, more efficient. I'm happier, which is gonna make my work, reflect that.
Yeah.
So we have all these commercial buildings now.
They're vacant.
They're just empty. What do you do with that? Put the homeless in it? Then like who runs it? Like, I mean, bro, we're gonna have like some big changes coming up soon that I think is gonna be like life changing. And I'm kinda worried.
For like the worse or the better?
Oh, definitely the worse. It may get better at some point, but I think it's gonna get worse before better. The way shit's going, like I've watched so many videos where they're like, back in the day, my parents bought this house and they made this much money, and now today this house is now worth this much money, and you would have to make 60 times what you make now to be able to, like, it's crazy. The price of everything has gone up around us, but yet our minimum wage has only increased by like a fraction. So we're just not able to live. But yet this is supposed to be the fucking greatest country on earth. And honestly, I see war coming before anything. Like,
because of how everything is changing.
Well, I mean, you got Russia and China like linking up and becoming homies, and like, we're doing our shit with the Ukraine.
They got all like the nukes and stuff.
Accidentally sent an extra like $6 or $8 billion to Ukraine.
Yeah, how can you accidentally send
that? How? Like, what the fuck? Who is managing this money that's just like, whoops?
I wish they'd accidentally sent
$8 billion. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you gotta push a button, like push through.
I'm pretty sure you gotta push a few buttons. Like, it's gotta go through a few fucking people.
Yeah.
So.
That was no accident.
Yeah, I'm sure they're using it to like funnel shit. Yeah,
something on the back end. So like, we'll destroy your.
Because I got a thing I want to get into that happened just recently. But do you have any more topics that you want to talk about? Okay. So
go ahead. A couple, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you probably want to go first. Go ahead. Mine's gonna be.
Is it what we was talking about?
Yes.
Okay. It's gonna be I'll piggyback off of yours.
Okay. So, I want to talk about this on here, not to bash anybody. I told this person that I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it because it's really affecting me, like in a very negative way. Like it's fucking with me really hard.
Okay.
And it's a situation to where somebody was drunk. It is a female. She was very impaired, very, very impaired. Got brought to my house at like 2 a.m. And the plan was either she was going to sleep it off there or me give her a ride to her home. Because whoever she was with couldn't give her a ride to her house or whatever. So she gets brought to my house. At first, I'm going to let her just sleep it off. Like, she's really drunk, but she's not, like, being wild or anything.
All right. Stop right there. Okay. All right. So you said she was brought to your house.
Yes.
So someone called and said, hey, can I come over to your house?
She called, yes, and asked if... First, she asked if I was able to come get her and take her home. Because the place she was at had no air conditioning, and she went over there to, like, hang out with her friend because, you know, she supported her friend. They just moved in, but they didn't have any air. And she said it was hot. I told her I couldn't because it was, like, almost 30 minutes away. So it's 2 o'clock in the morning, my daughter's home. So that would have been 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. That's an hour. You know, leaving my daughter at 3 o'clock in the morning. She don't want to fucking
You're real close to this person?
Yes, I consider her a very good friend. Like, I care about this person a lot.
Okay.
And that's why this is fucking me up. And that's why I just want to talk about it, because I don't know what else. Like, I don't know how else to, like, release.
Yeah. Cause it's the 50-50 podcast.
Bro, this is like Danny can tell you, like, I've been talking to her about it, and, like, it's a lot, and I don't know how to process. So she gets brought to the house.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's laying there on the couch. All right, whatever. I'm watching the fights. She starts breathing funny. And I can't tell if she's like hyperventilating, having a panic attack, or she's crying. I find out she's crying. Okay, at this point, I'm like, hey, let's get your shoes on and let me take you home. Because, like, my daughter's here. I don't want, like, I know how quick, you know, an emotional drunk can go from, like, sad to violent, or just, like, over-the-top sad, and it's just too much to deal with. And I just didn't want it around my daughter.
Right.
We get in the car. We don't get 2 stop signs from my house. My passenger door is open. And she is trying to jump out of my car as it's moving.
Okay.
So I'm now having to hold this woman by her shirt to keep her in my car. That's not working either. She starts trying to come out the shirt. Now I'm having to hold her by her hair. Like, legit, I'm having to drive. My door's swinging wide the fuck open.
And where are y'all like on a busy street? Or
at this time we're on Arena.
Okay.
So it's not busy, and it is 2-3 o'clock in the morning. But this girl is a friend. Like, I love this person. I've known her for a very long time. I don't even want to do this part. Like, I don't want to be grabbing this woman's hair. But I'm holding her hair, and I'm keeping her in the vehicle. My door's open. All it takes is her, like, flopping, and, like, she's gone. Like, she's out the car. She may not die, but she's going to get fucked up. This happens all the way to 50th in Portsmouth. I get to 50th. The door kind of shuts. It's not all the way. I'm still getting, like, the door open, like, on my dash or whatnot. But it, like, clicked like the first time. You know how it can do.
Yeah.
So it's not going to, like, come open if she's pushing up against it. And I'm just like, okay, cool. So I let go of her, kind of. I'm like, all right, chill. She starts wailing on me. And she's screaming her ex's name, telling me, fuck. But she's saying his name. We'll say it's Brad. It's not his name. But she's like, fuck you, Brad. You know, fucking. She's hitting me. And at first I'm allowing it. Because, like, she's hitting me with my arm and my chest. And I'm just kind of like, you know, there's not really much I can do. She starts hitting me in my face. Like, a few times.
Do you think she knows what she's doing?
No. No, she has no fucking clue. But I know. You know, like, I know what I'm doing. I know what she's doing.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, I'm even telling her, I'm like, you got, like, one more time to hit me in my face. And I don't even get it out, and I get da-da-da. Like, a good 2-3 shots in my face. And I was just, like, just instinct. I fucking like I backhand like this, and like I was like, I'm pretty sure she's like gets knocked out. Like it sits her back because she was propped up on her knees in my passenger seat, wailing on me, like, and I couldn't do anything. And I catch her, and I'm like, it's like jaw mouth area, and she like stops. She's like slumped, and, like she kind of falls over my center console. So I kind of put my head around her head, like in a headlock, but I'm not putting pressure. I'm just trying to like hold her because I don't want her to jump up and then jump out the door.
Yeah.
Keeps fighting me. Finally, I get to her house. I grab her bag. I throw it up to the porch. And I'm like, can you please get out? Like, don't make this a bigger deal than it already is. Like, oh, this has been bad. Like, I feel terrible. Like, she's spitting blood. She gets out, kicks my car door shut, starts kicking my car, starts hitting my windows. And I like run and I'm like, stop. And I'm trying to like get her off my car and away and like towards the house. Bro, and this woman falls and hits her head on the concrete so hard. Like it's like it's bad. And to see that happen with like me being involved scared the shit out of me. Cause I thought she died. She didn't move. Her breathing was very shallow to the point that like I couldn't tell if she was breathing sometimes. And it's just like I feel like shit. And everybody's telling me not to. Don't feel bad. You're defending yourself. She has no recollection of any of this.
So she don't remember.
She don't remember anything. Nothing. She does not remember shit. She remembers getting dropped off at my house, and that's it.
So she blacked out, like completely. Blanked out.
So now I'm the one who has to live with the memory. I get to relive that fucking whole situation over and over and over. And it sucks because I feel so bad. Because, man, for one, I don't like fighting women. Like, even if they're hitting me, like, when she was first hitting me, I'm letting her do it. Like, she's hit me in my arm, she's hit me in my chest, cool, whatever. Like, and she's got fucking, bro, she can hit. Like, I'm not saying, like, she ain't no, like, little girl. Like, she's got fucking power behind her fucking punches. Like, it was hurting, but okay, cool, I can tolerate it. Once she starts connecting with my fucking face and my jaw and shit, that's when I'm like, alright, I can't. For one, I'm driving. Like, what the fuck do I do if I get knocked the fuck out?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be embarrassing for one, yeah. But, like, I'm kind of really fucked up about it. I was fucked up about...
I mean, I could see why you would be.
Well, it was bad enough already having to, like back fist.
Yeah.
Like her. Like, that was, like, the worst. And I was like, this is terrible, and I'm not going to forget about this. And, like, tomorrow's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Like, especially if she has any recollection of it. Because, like, this is my friend.
Yeah. So that's probably why you feel like that.
If it was a stranger, I'd still feel bad, bro. I don't want to fucking hit no woman.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ever do that shit. And then, like, the sound of her hitting that fucking concrete, though, was, like...
Scary.
Yeah. Then she don't move. And, when I threw the bag, her phone was in the bag. I didn't know it was in the bag. But, like, it's an iPhone, and it registered a car crash. And it was, like, calling 911. And it was giving out, like, coordinates. And finally, I get the phone, and I'm on the phone with the 911 person. I'm like, hey, y'all probably need to send paramedics. I'm like, she's drunk, and she fell. She hit her head very hard. Like, at this time, I got her mom outside, and, like, she's like, her dad used to do this all the time, and, you know.
So they acting like it wasn't like nothing.
She kind of acted like it was. She acted like, I don't know. She didn't see it. She didn't experience anything that I experienced. So she doesn't understand.
So what was her first reaction when she came outside?
I knocked on the door. She peeks out and she's like, who is it? You know, it's fucking 3 a.m. Somebody's knocking on your door.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, her name, Michelle. It's not her name. But I'm like, Michelle, can you come outside? She opens the door and she's like, what do you need? And I just point towards the girl who was out in the driveway. And like she fell and she hit her head very hard and she's not moving. And like she comes and she checks on, like I'm feeling the back of her head, like no blood. I can't even really tell if there's a knot, but man, I know that fucking sound.
Mm-hmm.
I know she has at least a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
At the least a concussion. And I've spent all fucking weekend like just.
So this just happened like.
This happened. Saturday morning, technically. Or
Friday night, Saturday
morning. Yeah. So like 3 a.m. Saturday. And like I've not been okay. And it's fucking me up. And it's even worse because she doesn't remember shit. So like,
did you tell her the story?
Oh, I've told her everything.
Yeah.
She has a Ring doorbell, and I hoped it got all of it. I wanted her to see everything. I wanted her to see the fall. I wanted her to hear the hit.
She checked it.
Yeah, but it don't show. It only started picking up when I went and knocked on the door, and it's after she fell. Like we were too far away, but like the fire department ambulance came. She didn't remember anything of that. I guess she told him like fuck off, basically. I don't know. I'm not trying to put nobody down. Like I said, I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Like she knows, and I told her I was gonna talk about it, and I feel like I needed to talk about it because I feel like if I don't, I'm almost hiding something. You know. It's just. I don't know, dude. I don't feel right. I don't feel good. And like she's told me, oh, like no, you was defending yourself. I'm fine. You're good. And I'm like, I'm not fine. Like I don't want to fucking do that. I never wanted to do that, especially with like a friend.
Mm-hmm. Have you talked about like the whole situation, like with her? Like
I told her everything because she had no
even like. Yeah, you called me.
She knows all that. Come over, yeah, she knows all that stuff. She remembers calling, asking to come over.
Mm-hmm.
She remembers all that.
Mm-hmm.
She remembers getting dropped off. And that's pretty much it. But even while she was in my house, she was muttering her ex's name.
Yeah, see, so did you talk about that? Like,
well, I told her.
Did you get into like a situation with like your ex?
They've been split. I mean, they have problems. They're exes, like they have their fucking issues.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think she was reverting back to a time, a specific like argument that they were into. Because even when she was hitting me, she was like, fuck you, Brad. Like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not fucking him. Like, stop hitting me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to tell her when she was hitting me.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, at first it was just all arm. And I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, fucking, you're not trying to jump out of my car no more.
Yeah.
I'll take this over that.
Yeah.
But then once I'm, like, getting hit in the head, in the face, like, I kind of have to defend myself.
Yeah. You don't want to get punched in the face.
No. I mean, nobody does.
Especially when you're driving.
Yeah. Dangerous.
I don't know. I just don't know how to get over it. And like I said, I'm the only one who has to live with it.
A day at a time.
Okay. I mean, it's cliche, but I mean, yeah, I get
stuff in life happens. That sounded like a situation where
that was
out of your
man.
I mean, it's I guess you'd call it like an unfortunate situation. I guess I don't know, but like it just happened.
Like how many female friends have called you in the middle of the night and you have to end up physically?
That's never happened.
You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Like,
and this seems to happen a lot.
It doesn't.
With that particular person?
Yes.
Oh, see. So.
It's not like fighting all the time. It is a drinking issue.
Okay.
But I care about this person and I feel bad. And I've tried to talk to her. I'm like, can you not drink so much? Like, I understand addiction. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I'm an addict. I get it. I understand what it's like to get hooked on something and be dependent on that thing to where, like, if you don't have it, you're either sick, can't function. I get it. So I'm like, have a drink. Cool. Do you have to get blacked out? But like we was talking too, like I've never been blacked out drunk. I've drunk a lot, and I've never blacked the fuck out. Have you ever been blacked out?
No.
You ever drank a lot?
No.
Okay.
I don't like the feeling.
I don't either, really. But I
don't really like drinking that much.
I don't either.
Like if I'm out in public, like I'll get one drink and I'm probably like, like, you're not done with that one drink yet? And I'm like,
no, it's a weird.
Get it because
it's a weird thing to be drunk to me. You don't have all your faculties. You're not as sharp. So anything that was like to happen, you wouldn't have any you wouldn't be prepared for anything.
Right.
So like I think that's why I don't like drinking.
Yeah.
You can't drive.
That's one of my worst fears. Like if I feel like my body is like getting to a part where like I'm losing like control or something, like if I get lightheaded, like even if I'm not drinking, like if I get lightheaded, I'm like, man, like I gotta leave and go somewhere to where like I feel like if I'm out in public and I get lightheaded, I'm like, man, I gotta go home because I want to be somewhere where like I'm safe. You know what I mean? So I don't like that.
Is that anxiety for you? Or
I could say so, yeah.
What do you get anxiety from? Is there a trigger?
I guess just being not in control, I guess, like around, like if I'm in like certain areas or whatever, like, because, I do music. Yeah. So like, same thing, like if I'm performing.
You're in a club.
I'm in a club. It's like a feeling. Like if I feel like something is about to happen where I'm like performing, I'll be like, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I like the craft, and I probably like it enough that I don't know. I might finish the set, but
if it's bad enough,
if it was bad enough, I'd be like, I'm out. You know what I mean? So,
see, I have bad anxiety too. So like, and the whole time all this is happening, like I'm trying to deal with her while also trying not to have like an anxiety attack myself because like the way she's breathing and behaving, like it triggers my anxiety. Like I said,
probably why I'm afraid to do drugs.
That shouldn't be a deterrent for you to do.
Well, because like I've seen like the effects on like other people, like family members and like people that I don't know, and I'm like,
but here
we have zombies. I don't want to be a zombie.
There's a word for this, and I can't think of the word. It's a big word, but it's where you watch somebody do meth, and you watch how they behave, and you go, okay, that's what meth does to you. You watch somebody smoke weed, you watch how they behave, and you go, okay, that's what weed does to you. So we associate all this stuff, like alcohol, I associate it with being depressed and down, but that's not the case. We're so different, like individually. Like some people can smoke weed and it gives them energy, and they go fucking jogging or working out. Some smoke weed and can't get off the couch. Some smoke meth and are up for 3 days. Some smoke meth and go to sleep. There's nothing wrote anywhere that says this drug does this to you. Period. Because we all get affected differently.
I've seen the bad stuff though. I get it. That makes sense.
No, I have to.
And it's the bad. Like I don't know.
It does help as a deterrent because you see that.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know because like for energy, like you just using yours for example, you said like some people will smoke weed and give them energy.
Yeah.
Like for me, and I'm just speaking on my personal experience. Like I've never had to like take like a drug to like make me be like, oh, I need to be energized, or you know what I mean. This is my honest like truth. Like I've never like woke up and was like, dang man, I feel like bad to where like unless like I'm sick, of course, because I've got sick before, like with like the flu or a cold or something like that. So of course you gotta take medicine.
So in times of stress, you like, never thought, let me have a drink, let me smoke a joint, let me pop a pill. No.
100% honestly, never. Yeah. I don't really get stressed that much. I'm being honest. Like I'm content. I'm very content. I'm very content. with
I don't know, have you ever experienced like trauma or anything?
Yes, I have had experiences in my life where probably like the one traumatizing part I had in my life was my cousin. Like he got shot. It was I can remember it like it was yesterday. So it was on Mother's Day. This is back when my mom and dad they're split now, but this is back when my mom and dad were still married and they were together. We were out. I can't remember exactly what restaurant we were, but we were out eating for Mother's Day. It was a family event. And my cousin, he's passed away now. He got shot. But me and my cousin were like super, super close. Like it was my cousin, but it was almost like we were like brothers. Like he would come over like almost every day, every weekend. Like I looked up to him because he was like 3 or 4 years older than me, and he was always like, like yeah, man, like I'm gonna, don't do this. You should do that. So it was like a big brother. I say probably at that time maybe 15.
Oh, man.
Yeah, maybe 15. And then he was like 18 or 19 because he was.
He got shot at the restaurant?
Not at the restaurant. So the couple days before he come over my house, he was it was some other people at my house and they were talking about this party. And you probably know I think it was close to Johnson Street.
Mm-hmm.
Marvindale? I don't know if you know him. Last name McNamee. This is the party and he got shot.
McNamees.
Yeah. Well, that's his name. But a couple of days before, it was a big house party. A bunch of people there. Everybody was talking about it. And he was over at my house a couple of days before, and like he was talking about it. He was like, "Yeah, there's a party this weekend." He was picking on me or whatever because he was like, "It's gonna be a bunch of girls there." He was like, "Oh, you can't go. Like you too young and stuff like that." And I was like, "Man, like I wish I could go to stuff like that." Because I looked up to him. So I'm like, "Man, I want to go." And he's like, "You want to go, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wear this." He has his outfit and everything. He's like, "Yeah, man, everybody's gonna be there." And I'm like, "Man, I want to go." And he's like, "You want to go? Yeah, you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's playing with me.
Yeah.
Like, "You want to go?" And then he's like, "You can't go. Like, you too young or whatever." So I'm like, "Man." So it sounded fun. So anyway, like that weekend, it was Mother's Day. But before then, we went out of town. And like he's getting ready for the party to go, and like, well, we're gonna go out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, well, yeah, when y'all get back, he was like, I'll come and see you tomorrow. So he's telling me that he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the party. He was like, y'all gonna go out of town. He's talking to like my mom and dad, like what time they're gonna be back, because he comes over to my house like all the time. And he was like, what time are y'all be back? Then my mom and dad was like, oh, we'll be back like later on. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, well, I'll be at the party when you come back. He's talking to me now. He's like, I'll be at the party when you come back. But he was like, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm like, all right, like, yeah, have fun at the party. Like, I wish I could go, da da da. And then we leave.
So you wasn't even in town.
So I wasn't in town. So fast forward, we go out of town, we eat, have Mother's Day with like my mom, my brother, sister, stuff like that, and like we come back. At this time, it's probably like maybe 1 a.m. We coming off the highway, so we come back, so we're all like exhausted and stuff or whatever. Well, I remember me being in the room and like my dad's, cause it's my cousin, so it's my dad's sister's son.
Okay.
So like we come in and like the phone ring, and I remember my dad saying, "What?" Like like he jumps up cause he's asleep. Everybody's like getting ready to like calm down and stuff, and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Where at? And he jumps up. He's like putting on his clothes and stuff like that. And like I'm still awake at this time, but we're all about to start like calming down and like going to sleep. And I'm like, "What happened? What happened? What happened?" And he's like, "Your cousin." He's like, Mark, because his name is Marvin Dale, but they call him Dale for short. He's like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dale just got shot." And I remember him like grabbing his keys and stuff and like leaving. And I'm like, "What?" You know what I mean? And they like left fast. So I'm like, he got shot. I'm like, what?
You think it was just gonna be like he got shot and he'll be like,
yeah, he'll be okay.
He's gonna be talking about it, tomorrow or something.
Right. So my dad leaves. We're waiting. So I say probably like maybe a little over an hour passed, and like my dad like comes back. But when he comes back with his sister, which is my aunt. or whatever, and like
my cousin's mom.
Yeah, my cousin's mom. So like he comes back, and like my dad's like, yeah, he's shot, but like they won't let him see him because it's like yellow tape and stuff or whatever. So like we're waiting on like the answering, but like my aunt doesn't want to go though because she's like the whole time she's like, oh my god, like, please don't tell me, like not, she's like pacing back and forth. She's like shaking and stuff.
If it's like yellow tape, like, they didn't even take him to the hospital or nothing.
Well, I wasn't there, but this is what I heard. I heard that like when my dad left, like they wouldn't let him like go see him, and like my aunt had got the call too. So my dad had ended up going to go pick up my aunt, and like he was telling me that he was trying to tell my aunt like, do you want to go over there? And she was like, I don't want to go, like, because I guess like she didn't want to like see it.
Well, yeah.
But like, so they end up coming to my house. So the whole time like we're waiting or whatever, and like they get the call and it was like he's gone. And like when they said like he's gone, like my aunt like freaking she falls on the ground like.
How many times
the whole
was he shot?
time,
Do you know?
Yeah, I think he was shot 4 times.
Were they trying to shoot him?
Well, they said from just like I said, this is like he say she say stuff because I wasn't there, but like people go to court, they end up finding the shooter and stuff, and they go to court or whatever, and like people don't want to like say stuff or whatever because it's a shooting, so nobody wants to be the snitch. But from what I heard like a fight broke out, and like I guess like my cousin was like getting into it with somebody there. I think it might have been like over like a past beef or about something or whatever, and then like guns got pulled, and like my cousin was like trying to leave, and like they shot him like 4 times.
In his back?
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I heard like the kill shot was like in the back of the head or whatever. But like that's probably like I'm not gonna say probably, but that is like the most traumatizing part. But like after that,
so like, I'm kind of like numb.
Though, I'm like numb to like stuff. Like stuff happens, I'm just like.
So do you think you're numb because of that? Like
I feel like it. Yeah. I feel like when I hear like bad stuff, like it's not necessarily that I'm not sad, but I'm just like dang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
But how do you not want to? After that, how does like? Because that seems like such an easy time to be like, okay, now let me start smoking. Let me do something. What do you do instead? You just grieve and just what?
I don't really grieve, really. I don't know.
Do you think you?
I don't know. I might got a
block things out maybe and don't deal with it.
Yeah. So I could say that. Yeah. Like I block everything. Like if I hear something bad or something, I'm like.
Like you just don't want to deal with it. You're just like, done.
Yeah.
Like, I get that.
Yeah. Like,
I think it protects your energy in a way to do that.
I like working out. So
I think it protects your energy, but I also think you're setting yourself up to be a fucking ticking time bomb.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I don't have like a temper either, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be the problem because you don't have a temper. So like you're never expressing frustration. Like you said, you either block it out or you bottle it up. Everybody gets frustrated.
I mean, it could be. Yeah.
Like.
I'm not gonna say no.
Well, working out is a very good way to relieve stress. It's a very good like releaser. Like especially if you do any kind of like sparring, like punching bag type shit. Like it's very hard to be mad after that because you're so tired. It took so much energy just to do that. Same thing with like lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
So. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe
I don't know. Like Taylor says that too, though. She's like, you never get mad at anything. Like, dude, you just don't care.
You could just be a stoic person, which is fucking.
Like she'll.
It's
like,
a gift in itself.
Like that punch, like in the face. Like she'll probably punch me in the face, and I'll probably just be like.
There's just some people out there though that just don't get stressed out.
Yeah.
My grandpa, my dad's dad, I've never seen him angry. He's 91 years old. Never seen him mad. Not one time in my life, and I've done some major stuff, and he's never like gotten stressed out and reacted in a way that most people do.
Is this the same one who wrote the book?
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Yeah.
Right, but
I need this book is crazy. Explain, because you can explain it better than me. I understand it, but you can explain what it is. It's probably gonna go over your head, but it's crazy.
Well, okay. My grandpa's very, very, very smart. He was an electrical engineering professor at the U of A for 35 years, and he's written books that like MIT has used to teach. And him and this other guy just finished a book, actually, earlier this year, disproving Einstein's theory of relativity.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if you know much about Einstein's theory of relativity, but
explain a little bit. I mean, I know Einstein,
okay,
so
do you know the
whole? When you say Einstein, I'm already like.
Do you know the whole E equals MC squared? Have you ever seen that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
that was always confusing to me, but yeah.
It was very simple. What it is
it's always confusing to me. What's very simple? What's very simple?
If they say if someone just says
that's funny.
If E equals MC squared, that sounds like a fucking foreign language.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you break it down and you understand what it means, it's saying E is energy equals mass to the second power. So the more mass something has, the more energy it's gonna have.
Okay.
And vice versa. The more energy something has, the more mass. But I can see how it could be disproven because we have things such as like black holes and stuff that can be like super tiny but have a massive amount of mass and energy within it. Okay. But in this book, and she sent this to me, and it drove me crazy because I couldn't figure out. It's an image, yes, and it shows you looking at it from the front, and then you looking at it from the top, and it's just a drawing, like someone drew it, like it's just like lines, and it asks you, what does it look like from the side? And it's like, if you can't answer that, then you're probably not ready to read this book. Because you have to unlearn everything that you've ever thought was true. Or like possible, or fucking just anything.
And you have to learn to look at it differently in order to understand what they're trying to say.
And I want to read this fucking book so bad.
I should have brought it with me.
For one, I got the drawing wrong. Like, I guessed it in my mind, but when I drew it out on paper, I didn't draw the right thing. But when I guessed it in my mind, it was so simple that I was like, that can't be it. But it's crazy. It's like, is this the book?
Oh, there's my grandpa.
Okay.
That's the drawing. So you can blow that up and read it a little bit if you want to, but.
See if you can figure this out.
So this part at the bottom right here.
So that is an actual object that exists in the world, okay? But the way it's drawn on there is not how it exists. But
so it says this is a real object. The drawing is correct. There are no dotted lines and no lines are missing. If you claim that the puzzle has no solution, you are thinking in the wrong direction.
So what it's asking you is, the top one is from top right, and then the bottom one is looking at it from the side, or no, from the front.
Like if it's on,
say, the laptop right here.
Yeah.
You're looking at it from the front.
Shows the top and the front view of an option. The problem is to draw this side view.
So, what would you draw? What would the side view look like to you if you was to draw it?
Just a square.
Yeah, see?
Just, like a little line. No.
That's what you would think, right?
That's how the side would look.
And that's what it's
looking at this phone.
Yeah.
And that's what most people are going to think.
Yeah. That's like what I drew. And like what was fucking me up was like the little like indentation and the square on top. Like I couldn't figure out what that was. So it was like fucking me up. The answer is a circle. So like
that the side is a circle?
It's a circle.
It's square.
It's a log.
It's a log. So yes, from the front it looks square.
Because you're only looking at it two ways. So the book is trying to teach you to look at things totally different.
Okay.
In order to understand the book.
And I need to read this fucking book because I want my fucking mind blown. That's nothing we talked about. Okay, hold on, because I want to get into this. I'm glad this kind of brought it up. This has nothing to do with this, but it's something. We were talking about fashion. And
I knew he was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
So.
All right.
I've been sitting on it and thinking about it. I gotta. Well, go explain kind of what we was talking about for everybody who don't really understand.
All right. So let me because I actually wrote some stuff down.
Okay.
So me and my co-host Wes, we was texting back and forth, and he brought up fashion, but
or being unique, or I can't.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but this is what you said to me though. You said, you said society. You said society told you who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I was like,
I don't know if I worded it exactly like that.
Yeah, I don't think it was like that. But you was like, society told you.
I think I said society told you what to like.
Yeah.
And what what you think is cool.
Yeah, you said you wear what's cool by society standards.
Yes.
And I was like,
yeah, and you was like, no, I wear what I like.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been thinking about this. And I've been sitting on this because after we got done talking about it, I kept thinking about it.
Yeah. Hold on, before you said that, what was the funniest part? You said, you're not a billboard. You said you don't need to advertise name brands. You're not a billboard. Like that you said, and you don't know, but I started cracking up. Like while I'm texting you back, like when you text me that and I read it, you was like, "You're not a billboard. You don't need to advertise name brands." Like I dropped the phone, bro. I started cracking up, and I was
like, "That's what it's like to me when I see people." And it's not a diss. It's not like a dig at nobody because, of course, do what makes you happy, especially when something's so minuscule like fashion. Who gives a fuck what you wear? But okay, so here was my point.
Yeah, what's your?
Here was my point, and I thought about this. The only way that you can truly say, I wear what I like because I like it, is if you had zero access to society, like social media, models, fashion, any of that. Unless you do that.
What if I create my own merch because I have
it would still have to be, the rules would still have to apply. You would still have to have no influence by anything ever in your life to be 100% you. And that's what we were talking about when I was like, well, you might, and I do believe you like it, like the way you dress. You dress like that all the time because you like it. Like the flashy name brands and stuff like that. That's what you like.
Not flashy.
I mean, look what you got on right now. You got on.
It's just colorful.
Sure, I like colors.
What shoes you got on?
Patrick Ewing.
Okay.
Oh, flashy. I didn't see those shoes.
Flashy.
No, it's not.
Very flashy.
No, it's not.
Compared to me, very flashy.
It's just clothes.
It is just clothes, but it's the type of clothes. So if you was to take your wardrobe and mine would look very dull because I'm in the same pretty much outfit all the time. I have multiple versions of everything I wear. It's all plain color shirts that are usually like.
But there's nothing wrong with that, though.
I don't know, Hanes or Fruit of the Loom, something like that.
Yeah.
Plain shorts. I might have some name brand sneakers on and a hat. Other than that,
there's nothing wrong with it.
There's not nothing wrong with it. But the whole discussion of no, I like this 100% just because I like it. I feel like that can only be true, like I said, if you've never been influenced by music, television, any of that. Otherwise,
I get where you're saying.
Yeah, society has had an impact, even with my style, even with my tone down.
Right. So, what if I seen something that I never seen before? Like if I say ooh, those are nice.
Then you would be being influenced by whoever it is that you see. Now,
if I've never seen that person have that on before?
But that's what I'm saying. If it takes you having to see that person to go, ooh, I like that.
Not the person, like the item.
Well, it's just like in a store.
Then it's the store influencing you. If you was to create your own shit, then you can say I'm 100% me. But if you go buy a product from someone, you're buying something that they are marketing to you.
Okay.
So if they're like, hey, these new Jordans are out, and you're like, I like those.
I got influenced by
like
Jordan?
Them. Like, you do like them. I agree with you. You like them. But you're also influenced by, like, their Jordans. Would you like them as much if they were fucking Stephon Marbury?
Yeah.
Like,
probably.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm not just influenced by one particular brand.
What shoe do you have the most of?
Jordan.
Jordan. But you're not influenced by one particular brand.
But I have multiple. I have other shoes other than Jordans, you do. Though. But for me, it's like because the way they're made, like the look, not like the name.
Okay.
But like for example, you brought up Stephon Marbury.
So if Stephon the knockoff Marbury, Jordans, how many knockoffs do you have?
No.
Why? Why? You're not attached to the name brand. You're attached to the way they look. So why not buy the knockoffs that look just the same? They just don't have the name brand and the price tag.
Well, honest opinion, because the material, so they're not made the same.
Okay, that's a decent argument.
There's certain stuff that the logo,
but you said the logo don't mean nothing.
Well, okay, so take the logo out.
Yeah.
So really,
you have to take the brand off.
The material.
Okay.
So
you're
if
saying
I'm wearing them, I'll be
a cheap shoe is a cheap shoe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless if Michael Jordan, like the actual brand, like if it made a cheap shoe, I would be like, I like Jordans, but these don't.
What if I told you weird. Jordans are cheap shoes?
Well, I'm pretty sure when they make them, it probably only cost them maybe $5, $10.
I think it's
$2, and then they sell them for like triple that.
Way more.
Yeah. There's some that's like $400 or $500, $600.
Triple would only be fucking $6.
Okay, so
yeah, it's way more than.
I don't even know the word for that.
It's fucking.
Triple
it would be a
know.
percentage. It'd be like so much percentage more.
But yeah.
So Jordan is a cheap shoe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like they use like shitty leather, but it's very
cheap shoe.
Cheap to make.
But is it?
Yeah, I have some.
Okay, so if it's a good cheap shoe, would you wear cheap shoes that are good?
Yeah.
But you don't have none.
The Jordan, the material that they made, that they used to make it,
is cheap.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought some.
So you're contradicting yourself.
I bought them.
You're buying them because they're Jordan now.
Well, because the way they look, not because they're Jordan.
Okay,
but the way
we went back to, and I said, okay, what about the fake ones that look the same? And you said, well, no, because that's cheap. They're a bad shoe.
Because I feel like they don't make the material that they make for the real ones. They don't use that same material that they make for the fake ones. Yeah, you can tell.
Ones are better material. But you're just so conditioned to the real material that you think the fake is bad. What if the fake actually lasts longer? What if it's better?
Good question. I don't know.
So see, do you really like the shoe or do you like the brand?
I think it's the shoe.
Think so?
Yeah.
Is there any Jordans you don't like?
But yeah, there are.
Okay.
Like the twos. I don't know if you know them by numbers.
I know some of them. I don't know them all, but yeah, I know
the
some.
twos to me are ugly.
I don't like the ones.
Make that's like the most popular shoe.
I don't like the ones.
That's the most popular.
Okay, but think about it. So you could get Jordan ones or you could get Air Force ones. Almost look the same.
Mm-hmm.
You said you like them by looks.
Mm-hmm.
Air Force ones gonna be way cheaper.
Yeah.
Than the Jordan ones.
Yeah.
And it's both Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I not just go for the Air Force ones?
You or me?
I mean, anybody. It would be financially smarter. If you're talking about aesthetics, the way it looks, they look the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think what the difference is the strap.
And
not even in all situations, because I'm pretty sure some Air Forces have the strap.
No.
No?
Air Force Ones don't. So,
are you sure?
Yeah. Air Force Ones don't have the strap.
I don't think you're right about that.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Air Force Ones don't have the strap. I know this. They don't have
the sure?
Air Force Ones don't have the strap. I mean, they could be called Air Force Ones, but they're probably like not the real Air Force Ones.
Do you want to be right?
Let me see.
Or do you want the truth?
Let me see.
They have the straps.
Not those Air Force Ones.
Those are Air Force Ones.
No, they're not. Those are Air Force. Well,
those
Nike.
Nike
there's
men's
different
Air
ones,
Force
though.
Ones high.
Okay, so the high tops.
Well, yeah, the lows ain't gonna have straps.
Yeah, I don't like those. I don't like the high tops. But yeah, okay. So yeah, they have the strap on them. So yeah, okay. You got me on that. Okay.
This is my first pair of Air Force Ones.
So these are the Air Force Ones that I'm talking about.
Lows wouldn't have a strap though.
They're the lows.
Because think about it. What is the strap for?
It's just fashion. Like, I mean, well, you can actually
it's for ankle support.
Yeah, ankle support.
So if you have lows, there's no way. Why would you put a strap on that? What is the strap going to strap to?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
So that's the whole reason behind the strap on the Air Force Ones.
But yeah.
So now, really, what's the difference in Jordan 1s and Air Force Ones?
Well, for me, like, I would get both. The reason why is because, like, for the way I wear them is different. So if I'm wanting one day, if I'm feeling, I'm like, I kind of want to wear some lows today.
The Jordans don't have the straps.
Okay. Yeah, they don't have straps. Yeah, I have a couple of pair of those.
Do they all not have straps?
I'm pretty sure.
There's one. There's one I think that has straps. One series. Unless I'm wrong.
I thought there was some that had straps. So that's the difference then. So Air Force One has straps, Jordan 1s don't.
Yeah.
I like the strap. Whether you wear them strapped or not, I think it's cool to have them unstrapped. Like it's just fashion, like you said.
Yeah.
So
but it just depends on like what outfit I'm wearing that day. Like if I'm like, I
you like Jordan 1s though? I think I'm ugly. I'm looking at the 2s. Let me see what the 2s look like.
The 2s, I don't like the 2s. They kind of look like spaceships.
I don't like them, but they're okay. I'm going through all the Jordans. The 3s, the ones I see a lot of. I see Eminem wearing the 3s a lot. Yeah. I think the 4s is what I like.
That's my favorite.
And I think the 6. Let me look at the 6. Yeah.
Mine's are the ones, the 3s, the 4s, and the 5s are my favorite ones.
Okay, and we was also talking about.
But yeah, you didn't finish though. So what was the point?
The point was that when you're like, no, I like it just because I like it. That's not true. You like it because the brand. Because you just said you would buy Jordans, but you wouldn't buy the knockoffs because the logo's different. What you want.
Yeah.
But if I brought you,
who wants to buy knockoff Jordans? Though?
People who don't want to spend thousands of dollars on Jordans.
Why just buy? Well, I mean that's on them. I'm not gonna say.
What if they don't have that money? But they still want to look like Jordans. And we do.
I'm not gonna judge. I'll just be like,
we do though. You may not judge. Actually, you did, motherfucker. Bitch ass.
Well, okay, all right. Well, because you're my friend, so I'm like, I'm not gonna be like you like, yeah, I got these Jordans. No, if you're my friend,
I look at my Jordans too.
No,
so type it in.
All right, so he's a good friend. So he was like, oh yeah, I got some Jordans, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like those are like he had them, and I was like, no.
And he was like, they're not real. I'm like, I can pull them up. How are they
not real? Those aren't the real ones. Because Jordan as a brand has different type of Jordans. They have like the retro Jordans, which are like all retro.
Jordan.
Then they have like the team Jordans, kind of similar to which one?
This is the one that I got. They're called As You Go.
Okay.
And it's a real Jordan.
Those are fake.
How are these fake? They're all authentic. They're Jordan.
Okay, so there's probably like the team Jordan.
I'm not saying they're like one of the 1 through 12s or whatever the fucking Jordan goes through.
Yeah, those are the real ones. So
that's kind of like the
original.
Real.
Yes, if it's not in the original 1 through 24
then you don't
or
consider
26,
a Jordan.
Yeah, I mean because
hold on, let me show you the other ones that I had.
They have the different ones too. They have like the originals. It's like 1 through.
Close. So I have these in Jordan.
Okay, so those are probably like the CrossFit or like walking.
But you
training shoes.
But you wouldn't consider them Jordan.
Yeah, but not like the original. But yeah, they're Jordan.
So it's a different line.
So if it ain't 1 through 12.
So like for example, are you familiar with Nike? So like you have like the 270s, like the Air Maxes, like Nikes, like they have their line where like the way they look, like the logo, the way they're made, everything. Like those are like Nike Air Maxes. You have Air Maxes and then you have like the 270s. You know, so it's like they're different. Like it's Nike, but just like how she said, it's a different line of Nike. You have like Nike has like their workout shoes, like their training shoes. So you got like
the Jordans that are the 1 through.
I think it's like 26 or whatever. Yeah.
And those are the ones worth money and people knock them off. And then you have the other lines of Jordans.
Yeah.
That are just like running shoes and
whatever else they make.
So when you were trying to say my shit was fucking foo-foo,
bro.
You was wrong.
Well, okay, but
they're
wrong. Not the original ones.
They're not 1 through 20 something.
But if you like them, cool.
I actually don't. I never wear them.
Cool. If you like wearing that, cool.
Well, yeah.
Like I'm not gonna.
I wear shit like this because it's simple. You. How can you go wrong with like you to wear that shirt? Bro, you got a plan around that shirt. You can't wear that shirt with this fucking grab a hat and go. You could, but would it work?
So when I go shopping, like I'll say, "Oh, I like that shirt. I have to have a hat because I have like way too many hats. Like I can give some away. I don't have enough room. I don't have enough room.
Just say you're transgender.
I don't know. I don't even know how many I got. So like I have a bunch of hats. I have a bunch of shoes and stuff. But
the way he's dressing right now,
I gotta have that. And if I can't find a hat, I'll put the shirt up. I'll put the shirt up.
Okay.
No lie. I'll be like, dang, it's a nice shirt, and I'll be like I have to complete the outfit.
Not wear a shirt if you can't find hats and shoes to go with it.
I'll be like, dang, man.
So do you have a hat for every outfit? You wear a hat every day?
Unless when I'm at work.
Oh, you can't wear a hat at work?
But, yeah. Out in public,
I'm pretty sure you was wearing a hat the other day when I came in. Was you not?
No.
No? They won't let you wear hats?
No. Well, they have summer attire, but you have to wear the hats that they sell.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Because I like sports hats.
Yeah, it's all fucking anime and video game shit.
If one came across and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Do you think your opinion would change on like putting so much time into style if you had a kid? Or do you think it'd still be the same?
I think you'd be dressing up as a kid, just like you.
Probably would. Take that off, man.
Yeah.
Where was that hat at? Put your hat on. Put your hat on, man.
You know it would be.
Yeah, you going out to play? Don't wear that. Wear these. You going out to play? Like wear those. I would.
So
for me, like
I've done it.
Kids, I would put the same energy that I would have in myself. I would have it in my kid. Like I'd be like, oh, you gotta look fly today.
Okay, hold on. Now, with that though, would you want to instill that type of thinking into a child that early? Would you want them to think, oh, you can't go outside looking like plain, like you gotta be fly? Because like, I'm sure you could admit, like that's an expensive habit. Like you said, you can't even buy a shirt without having to get the shoes.
He's judging me.
No, I'm saying though, like
he's judging me. He's being judged. You can't even buy a shirt.
You can't
without getting a hat.
You can't.
Man,
you don't have the power.
Man, you can't do it, can you? You like that shirt, don't you?
So would you buy a shirt if you had nothing to go with it?
No. Being honest, no.
Yeah. See.
No.
Now, would you want that to be put into a child to where the child is like stressing over an outfit?
It's not stress.
You didn't get stressed out, remember?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, if a kid, it depends. So, like, if he's young, I'm gonna let him be a kid. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, he's gonna go out and be a kid. Yeah,
you're gonna be like, oh, let's get these LeBrons. Like, those are ugly. I want Batmans with the light ups.
Well, because a kid is gonna be a kid. So a kid, he's probably not gonna be like, oh, let me get those. Yeah. The high fashion stuff. He don't know what that is. So he'll be like, oh, I want the little sparkly Spider-Man.
Jordans, bro. My kids.
I'll be like, all right, cool.
Oh, yeah, every time I take Theo to get shoes, he wants the light up Spider-Man shoes.
Yeah, I'll be like, cool. I wanna be Flash. And I'll be like, yeah, make me run faster. And I'll be like, all right, cool. But I mean, because I would literally let my kid be what they want to be.
So if your kid wanted to not dress up like that,
yeah,
you'd be okay with it.
You don't have to. It's all about what you like.
What if your son was gay? No, I'm just trying to see.
I don't have issues.
You'd
with
be okay with
people. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would make sure. I'd be like, why? Like if he came to me,
you'd be like, suck this dick.
No, if he came to me, like. Your kid is not going to be like, how? Okay, so how do you know your kid's gay? Like your kids,
they're going to tell you.
Okay, so and then I'm going to say,
they're probably going to be scared. Sure? They're probably going to be scared.
Yeah, I say, are you sure?
My daughter did the same thing when she tried to tell me and her mother that she was pansexual.
What was that? We're attracted to anyone despite their gender.
You're attracted to basically energy, vibes, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. It don't matter if they're boy, female, how they look, if they're ugly, the personality.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. First she came out, she thought she was a lesbian. That's what it was first. She's like, I think I'm gay, and she's crying, and we're like,
how does a kid know though?
They don't. At that time, she definitely didn't, and we laughed even we laughed for one because she was crying, we was gonna disown her, and we were kind of laughing do you think we're gonna hit you or something now? We don't care. Do what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, sadly, a lot of parents do react that way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I was about to say, I have a ex-uncle who was by marriage who is still to this day, for one, he's a shit-talking piece of shit. Mm-hmm. He calls my daughter a whore. His other grandbaby is dating a black dude. He'll call her an N-word lover. He's just a fucking backwoods piece of shit. Mm. And he's now got a kid that he kind of raised. He came into his life when he was 5, 4 or something. Mm-hmm. And now this kid is damn near the same way. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what you instill shit into your kids. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard for a child to break that way of thinking if they've been if that way of thinking has been reinforced and commended. So, if you're look at that faggot, right? Ain't that a faggot? And then, you get him to say faggot, and you're like, yeah, good job, son. I love you.
Yeah.
Then,
that's true.
It makes them think, well, to be loved, I need to put this person down. I need to not like this person.
Yeah.
I need to call little girls whores. And then, all reality, he's probably calling my daughter a whore because he's only 20-something. She's 15. He has probably been turned down by girls who look like her.
Probably.
And now is lashing out. Or, even worse, secretly he wants to try to hook up with her and knows he can't. Well, he probably would if he had the opportunity. But, she ain't going for it. So now she's a whore. And it's just...
Most of the time, that's how it is. Mm-hmm. How it is. They'll... Just like you said, they rejection or something's going on with them personally to where they want to lash out and call people names or be judgmental.
Life, man, how the fuck do you do that? Because this is the same dude who I was 5 and 6 staying the night with my cousin. Who you, my cousin was more like my brother. Mm-hmm. My 2 cousins and my older cousin Katrina, who is now passed away, was brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. They would tell me because my little cousin sleep in the room with them, and the next morning we'd be outside playing. He was like, yeah, my mom said you're a scrub and my dad said you're a faggot. And I'm just okay. Let's play 21. And I had to go on I didn't
So you think he learned that from his parents?
Well, my cousin broke it because he got away. But that's what I'm saying. There's some people who don't. And how you said, yeah, people do live like that. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how you can do it forever and never fucking change. Unless you just don't venture out into the world. Don't.
Mindset, man.
It is. But how do you stay in one mindset for so long? Negative or positive. Everything's temporary. Mm-hmm. But it seems like hate is one thing that can stay forever. generation after generation after generation. Like, this dude watched his daughter have a mixed kid, and she came out very light-skinned, like, very light-skinned. Like, she could pass for just pure Caucasian.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that baby ain't got no ounce of in her, you know? Like, that's just, and he's always been this way. And now there's a whole new generation.
Yeah.
That he's still like, oh, she's an
N-word
lover.
Stuck like the same way.
And it's like, no matter how much society changes and how much we grow or become more accepting.
Yeah.
Some of these backwoods, racist fucking fucks.
Yeah.
Just keep fucking their cousins. And telling their cousins, we don't like them darkies. Now go get your mama so I can fuck her too.
Did I tell you the story about Taylor's brother? I told you the story.
We were talking about it on the one episode.
Yeah.
Just like how he was like,
like
basically you're like, oh, you're not like them.
Yeah, he was like, I don't even like black people, but he was like, I like you though.
See, and when
they said that to you,
yeah.
When they tell you that, how do you not respond like, you know?
Well, I asked him. I was like, you don't like black people, but you like me. I was like, I'm black.
Yeah.
Like, what do you don't?
And what
don't
even,
you like about?
So like, what the fuck? Like, I'm black.
What don't you like about black people? And then like, cause we had like a conversation about it, and like after the conversation, he was like,
did it boil down to ignorance?
Like, all right.
He had no reason to not like black people other than
just the stereotype, like stuff that you hear or like see, you know. So I don't know. Remember, people say I'm not black. I don't know, like for real.
No, they didn't say you're not black. Like that's another thing we was gonna talk about too. Because the last episode, Plain Jane said you talk white.
How do I talk white?
When she said that, I was like, I know exactly what she's talking about.
How do I talk white?
I don't think you talk white. So if you ever, there's like an SNL skit where there's a black guy who talks in a white voice, like a white guy's voice, and he's like real nasally and talks like this. I think that's what they mean. Like, I don't know how else to explain it.
Like you can't talk a color.
Well,
no,
that's what I told
like for example, like.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't talk that way. Like, I would never think, oh, he doesn't talk black. Like, why would you even say that?
Just like me saying, talk purple.
Yeah.
Do it now. Talk purple. Talk green. Like, how? I get what they mean in a way.
I understand what they mean. Because I've seen skits about it and stuff. Yeah. So
like.
But to me, I don't.
So like the slang, I guess.
It's not even a slang because you use slang.
Any race could use slang. Slang is just like
but we also talked about
slang is just
you can tell when it don't fit.
Maybe the way
no cap, buddy. Like like that old white person trying to I don't know what's up, my dogs, or like it just doesn't fit, and you can tell. You can tell they're trying to be something.
Okay, so I can say you don't sound white.
I think I do though. People say I don't. Like even she said on the episode, she's like, I think you got a little coffee in your milk, or however she put it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I sound
you.
Okay.
You sound like Wes.
That's okay. That's what I think too. But then other people say different. And I got it a lot when I was younger. But I also think I was trying harder to fit in with a group of people. Because I even got it tattooed on my chest, bro. Adapt or die. And I believe that. I believe you have to adapt to your environment or you will not make it. So it's almost like I was living like a persona or like a character, not a character, but a caricature of like myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot more like slang. And I can do it now. Like.
All right. So you know Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't sound well because you know how she talks. She like, dude.
Taylor also
whatever.
Is
like really what the fuck.
Taylor really is.
But she's white.
Yeah.
But she's not trying to talk a race. That's just how she talks. She's just like, really.
I feel like when I talk, I sound more like a guy.
I don't make you sound like a guy.
I don't mean my tone. I mean like the way I talk, and the way I phrase things, and the way I.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, who do you think it's who do you like saying like suck my balls or something like that, or like just shit like that, like that shit she would say.
Yeah.
So that's what she mean, like talking like a guy, not like deep voice, like
I just mean the way I word things and the way I.
It's very like
that's similar
boyish.
to how my
I joke around a lot. I'm very sarcastic. I cuss a lot.
Okay, so let me ask you this: who do you think gets judged more? Black people who talk proper or white people who talk black or with ebonics?
Probably white.
Yeah.
They try to talk with ebonics or slang.
I think so too.
Because they'll say like, "Oh, you're trying to fit in or be something that you're not." But for me, my opinion, you talk like how you talk. It could be, you can almost tell if you're trying to put on like a facade and be something that you're not. But if it's like who you are, genuine, you talk like how you talk. Same thing with like how you dress. Like you dress with how you dress. You know, like.
But you're also going to be able to tell if that person doesn't dress like that normally. Because they're not.
Yeah, you can tell.
How we talked about.
They're going to be overdoing it. You're going to be like.
How we talked about the clothes don't make the man, but the man make the clothes. Yeah.
You can tell by the way people carry themselves if they're uncomfortable with what they're in or not.
Confidence.
What's up, bro?
How's it going?
Like my, and then they'll compliment themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, you like my shirt?
Like me, and I'd be like their outfit. I'd be like,
you like my shirt?
You like my shirt?
Yeah, I'm like, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Why are you having on?
Yeah, man, cause I like it too. I like it too. I was just trying to see if you like it. I'd be like, oh, is you trying to see if I like it, so you're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Have you seen the thing? I don't know what it's on, but it's a little segment they have, and it's like 7 guys, 6 are black, 1's white. They all have blindfolds on.
Okay.
And they go find the white guy. And they get it wrong.
No, I've never seen that. But how can they find them? Like
they're just talking. They're like, talk about your background, talk about where you grew up. And the white dude was raised. He was raised by a black family, and he lives in South Central.
Okay.
So gives you a fucking like, you can already imagine. This dude's got like the braids. He's like, I think he's like, my name's Kevin, but they call me Kev, and like whatever. And they get it wrong, and it comes down between him and this other dude, and the other dude's just like, I don't know what to tell y'all, I'm black. Like, guys, I'm black.
Was he black?
Yeah, he was black. But he was talking, like, not hood enough, I guess. And they got it all wrong. They said it was the black dude when it was,
Man, that's just society, I guess you say. Like, how can you not be like,
just judging.
Oh, yeah, you're not hood enough. You have to talk this way to be a part of this street or be at this part of this group of people. Like, that's stupid.
I don't think you have to do it to fit in, but I think it is.
It could be an advantage and it can be a disadvantage. That's what I think.
How can it be a disadvantage?
It could be a disadvantage because the way society is set up, let's say if you're trying to go to a corporate job, they might be like, oh, he's too hood.
Okay.
He's too hood, so I don't want him representing our corporation.
Okay.
I get judged for my tattoos in real estate.
Yeah. See, so, same thing. Yeah, she said tattoos, so that's a good example.
But why the fuck are we still doing this?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? That is the question. Like, why?
I don't know why anyone else cares about what I put on my body, but they do.
Same thing with the talking about, like, the girl I was talking to. Again, no knock to her. And I've already told her about this, but she was like, don't do mushrooms.
That's cool. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I just got it, too, about a month and a half ago. Yeah.
So, see, it sucks that, like, if you wanted to go get this on you because it's something you like, you couldn't because you think it's going to affect your business because people are going to be like, oh, well, you got a tattoo.
Yeah, like that's
what the fuck does that got to do with me selling you a house? Motherfucker, I can sell you this house.
Yeah.
I can sell you this house fucking clapping my cheeks together.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they ain't got shit to do with nothing.
Yeah.
But back to society.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's not only crazy, but it's narrow-minded, and it's hindering growth.
It is.
What's crazy and what sucks is when you're not like that, and you have to watch everyone else around you be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it hard to watch.
Well, I told you, man.
I hate it. Like,
That's how I feel sometimes.
Well, I don't know how like it is for women, but I've told you how many times like older white men come up to me dropping the N-word, like hard ER, until I'm like, you know, I'm not cool with that shit, right? And they're like, oh, you one of them? I'm like, I guess.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
You're one of
like,
them?
I guess so.
Like,
Like, I get into it with this dude at work all the time about this shit. Because he'll tell me, he has this fucking mindset of like, oh, people are just lazy, they don't want to work. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm tired of hearing that shit.
What does that mean? What does he mean by that?
He means, so, in his mind, the white kid who was born to a wealthy family in a great neighborhood had access to the best schooling and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to do exactly what the black kid who is raised with a single parent household, living in HUD or Section 8 in the ghetto, he thinks they're on equal playing field. And he's like, I don't want to hear no excuses. They both need to pull themselves up from the bootstraps and fucking get the job done. And I'm like, do you not think this kid has a fucking advantage, though, compared to this one? He's like, no. You can just get up and do the work. And I'm like, but you're judging him off being, like, he judges people off being black. So think about if everybody thought like you, talking to him. I'm like, if a black man come in for the job and you had a white man behind him, you're just going to be sitting there like.
Most people are like that.
Yeah.
And vice versa, too.
Okay.
It's not just like
so then how the fuck can we expect people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps if we're not giving people the same advantage and the same opportunities?
Like the equal opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. And you can blame it on shit like redlining. You can blame it on the prison industrial complex. Like, poor women are almost incentivized to live without a man because they get free housing, they get free food, they can get free phones and all this shit.
Do they?
I don't know. I don't get help.
So if
never applied for anything like that.
So do you know what Section 8 is? Or HUD? It's HUD around here, but most people call it Section 8. That's for mostly single women.
Yeah.
If she has a man, she's disqualified from that. So that is an incentivization to not have the father present.
People take advantage of it, like women take advantage of that.
It almost brainwashes them. Why would you not? Think about it. If you're with a man and y'all are struggling and y'all can't pay the rent, even though you love him, if you just kick the man out, you can go get this house or this nice apartment or this nice duplex. You can get food stamps. You can get like the government phones. You can get internet for fucking like $10 or something. Yeah. It's incentivizing women to not have the father be in the picture. And I've been doing a lot of reading on like statistics lately, and it's saying that children from a single mother household do worse than children from either a single father household or a household of the mother and father.
I can see that. I can agree with that. Yeah. Sucks, but
wow. Because the mom's always out working and is not home with the kid.
But okay, if it's a single father, same thing. He would have to be out working.
I don't know.
And not only would he be out working, he would probably be working more because he is a man. That means he doesn't have to take off time for like maternity leave. Like that's not a thing for men. Men are usually, it's not always, but usually more willing to work dangerous or hard jobs and work overtime. So like the whole pay gap for men and women. Like they say women get paid, what is it, like 13 cents to every dollar?
Yeah.
It's true, but it's also not giving you all the information. It is true.
Right.
women are getting paid less,
mm-hmm.
but it is because of things like they take off more for like raising children. They don't pursue like the higher paying jobs. Majority,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like underwater welding. You're not gonna find women doing underwater welding. I'm not gonna fucking do that shit. That's one of the most things that like the lifespan on people who do that 7 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that was going back to the whole discussion when we were like, is being a rapper one of the most dangerous jobs? And I was like, it's not even close. It's really not close. I wish we would have talked to Sick Goon about it, but here, let's get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So,
the way you said that was classic, bro. The way you did, you said.
I didn't even think. So,
like you.
Yeah.
So we have a fresh mind here.
Yeah.
Fresh pair of ears. Present your case.
Oh yeah.
I feel like rap.
Shut the fuck up. No, I'm playing.
No, I feel like shut the fuck up. No. So I feel like being a hip hop artist is like one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. That's what I feel like. Why is because they're always out in the public. They always have to, when it comes to performing, they always have to put themselves in a position where you're around a lot of people. They're flashy, so they always have like a lot of money on them, a lot of jewelry, fancy cars, all that stuff. So I feel like they're putting themselves in that situation to possibly get robbed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I feel. But Wes disagrees. He said there's more dangerous jobs in the world.
The reason I disagree is because what do you consider it dangerous for? Are we talking about deaths?
All above, I guess. So deaths,
injuries, all that shit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so for deaths, if you're let's say,
then that's what you think, right?
So
you think there's a lot of rappers.
But I know there's other professions where a lot of people have died.
Yeah,
there is. It's just not out there in the public.
They're not out there. So she made a point. They're not out there in the public.
Yeah. Give me 6 rappers that have died.
That
have like been not died. That has been killed.
On the job, or just
I'll
in
give
general.
You in general. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a whole other thing we were talking about.
Hustle.
Okay.
XXX, Tentacion, however you pronounce his name.
Tentacion.
PNB, Barack. Who else?
Fabio. Is it Fabio Foreign? Is he the one? Or no? Freddie?
He didn't get shot. Who?
I thought some Freddie or Foreign or something. I can't think of who it was, but someone we talking about. So we got 3.
Who else? Like I know them, but I can't get them out. Who else got killed?
So that's my point. It's hard to think of even 6.
Yeah, but now, I know there's 6, but yeah.
So when I look up the most,
I know recently or like ever.
Well, we could even do ever, but then like if we do ever, we're going ever on every job.
Okay.
And this is okay. So world's most dangerous jobs. Number 1 is logging workers, and the fatality rate is 111 per 100,000 workers.
All right. So what do they do?
Like
I'm just
cutting like trees.
All right.
Like logging, like anything to do with trees. So the total deaths in 2018 was 56.
All right.
Number 2, aircraft pilots. Total deaths in 2018 was 70.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yes. Oil, gas mining,
rigs.
20 deaths in 2018. Roofers.
Is firefighters 96. On there?
Surely.
Let me see. Delivery drivers. Total deaths in 2018, 966.
Oh.
Dang, for a delivery driver?
I mean, they're in their car all the time. It makes sense.
I think that's the highest. I think this was the highest, even when I looked at this the last time. Yeah. There's a lot of deaths on here, like per year, but nothing on here.
Says rappers or musicians at all.
But nothing comes close to delivery drivers.
Yeah.
Ground workers is 225. So that's just like police officers, 108. Construction workers, 259. Yeah.
But I think what you're saying is like being out there as a public image. It's a dangerous profession.
It is.
Another thing we talked about though too.
It's like that's like
it is.
That's yeah.
But do you think
I would say being a rapper is a dangerous profession?
Or like, not even just a rapper, a musician. Period.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is what I was gonna say.
Celebrity.
What rapper is getting killed for rap?
I mean, that's gonna be a hard.
No one.
That's gonna be I guess you could say no one, but
so,
I mean,
who's
gonna say? Who's gonna say?
That's what I'm saying. But it's the jewelry, it's the money, it's getting the clout off. Yeah, I shot so and so. So that was another thing.
Well, no one's gonna say like I killed him because he's a rapper.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, I ain't gonna say no one, but okay. So yeah, Mo3. Yeah, that's another one too. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So, but okay, so that was my argument too, that they're not dying because of the profession. Rap is not getting people killed. Mm-hmm. They're not like on stage and the microphone's electrocuting them and they're dying or shit's falling on them and they're dying. Mm-hmm. Or even them getting shot over lyrics. Some have. I'm not saying like all haven't. Mm-hmm. But
they've been using those in court now.
Yeah.
Using your lyrics in court.
And I go back and forth
on it. Isn't that going on with like Gunna right now or something?
Gunna snitched and got free.
YNW
Yeah, Melly, Young Thug.
Yeah. So you saying that the money is what's...
Yes, that's what I believe. I believe it's not... Jury. Nobody's killing them because they're a rapper. No one is going, man, I really fucking hated that song. Like, bang, bang, bang. Like, you know what I mean?
And it's not like gang-related anymore either.
Some are. And that's what we're talking about too. Well, that goes back to not being a rapper. Like Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
If Nipsey wasn't where he was at, being involved in street shit, when he is now not just a rapper, but he was like a mogul, man. He
just said something to him. He was just like, he was like, I heard that you were on paper, like, telling, like a police informant.
Does that have to do with his profession? Or is that hood shit?
He just asking a question. Like,
no, he wasn't asking a question. He told him to get the fuck away from him. Because you're a snitch. But that has nothing to do with being a rapper.
Would you want a snitch to be around you?
If I'm a rapper and I'm doing nothing illegal,
no. Let's take rapping out of it.
Yeah, but if I'm doing nothing illegal, what do I care if a snitch is around me? Because I'm not. Would you care?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't want to be snitched.
We could be talking about this podcast right now. We can talk about this podcast right now, and they go tell the police, yeah, they do. They do a podcast every Sunday at 1:00. Yeah, they had this lady on there this time. Yeah, she had on
she has her big pen on her.
Yeah, so yeah, but I'd be like,
that doesn't. It's not. You're not getting anything from that. Yes, you're giving up information, but you're not giving any information that's credible. We're not going to get arrested for doing a podcast every Sunday.
Police might come up here. No,
they come up here if they fucking want. They can sit down and get grilled real quick. And I'll ask them, why y'all keep killing people? Why y'all keep killing kids? Why can't y'all not be so trigger happy? Like, I would love to fucking sit and talk to a police officer. Like, you know the one from Little Rock? That does like really like he's kind of like a celebrity. You know what I'm talking about?
I know a couple of police officers that are black that's from here.
I don't even think he's black.
I want to get them on the podcast and like ask how tough it is or what they think. But I don't know if they would
talk about it.
Talk about it though. But if they would, that'd be cool.
Wish I could get this guy's name because he is such a cool fucking dude. But like he goes out. Like, he does a lot of, like, social media stuff where he, like, gives to the poor. And, like, he can go to, like, the hood and, like, ghettos and fucking drug fucking infested areas. And people love him. Because he's not there to fucking, like, fuck with them.
He's there to help.
Yeah, he's like, who needs
that's
water?
Good.
Yeah, it is.
That's good.
And he's like...
I feel like that's how
they should be.
Yeah, police should be.
But they're not. Like, you see them majority of the time being like, oh, your windows are tinted, and you're black.
Power.
Yeah, get out the car.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? And they're like, because I said so. Like, but I gave you all my stuff. next thing, boom, got the fucking car. Like,
yeah, I think it's abuse of power. I feel like I've seen a lot of movies and stuff like that too, but I think like it's not even just the movies anymore. I feel like it's real life.
It's
like
starting to be all real.
Yeah, like the police, like the police force, they're like a family. They're like, oh, we'll protect you because
look
like
at the whole,
you know, like you can, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like we'll protect
the
you.
thin blue line. That's what they call it.
Yeah,
you blue, bro. They're putting it out there that like we have this code of conduct that we.
You can do it and get away with it because we're like the police.
Yeah, and we're gonna have each other's back. Yeah. We are the thin blue line.
Yeah.
Like
that's scary.
You're my brother in arms. It's almost like a military mindset. You're my brother in arms. I always got your back. Mm-hmm. We'll plant these drugs if we need to. We'll put a gun on them if it covers you. You're my brother. It's the thin blue line. We gotta protect it.
Yeah, I'm almost scared of that than I am of like somebody in the public, and it's not even like a color thing.
Cops scare the shit out of me.
Like cops, like if there's something going on and like you call the cops, I'd be like, "What you call the cops for?"
Yeah.
Like let's, you know what I mean? Like the cops come in, like why?
Cops
and it's
make
not
me fucking nervous.
Like normally you would want to call the cops for safety. You know what I mean? Or like, I'm gonna call them. You know,
would you feel safe calling
to
the
resolve
cops?
like a situation? Huh?
Would you feel safe calling the cops?
Like if somebody was robbing me, I don't know. I don't even know if I'll call the cops. That's being honest.
What if there was like a fight going on? Would you feel safe if someone was trying to fight you? Would you be like, hey, there's this dude here trying to fight me? And they were like, okay, we're on our way, and like you need to give a description. Do you think they would jump out and like treat you like the aggressor?
Probably. I can't say yes or no, but probably in the back of my head.
White?
Yeah, in the back of my head. And I don't. Yeah. That could be something.
Person white or they black or I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends on the situation, and then sometimes it doesn't even have to be about black or white. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just.
There's this video too of this cop. He like pulls over these young kids because when they drove by the cop, he yelled like "fuck the police" and flipped them off or something. And they pulled this Jeep over and got all these kids out the car and searched the car. For one, it was an illegal search. The dude never gave them consent. For two, to stop and to detain somebody for expressing their feelings is not within their limitations. We can critique cops on the job they do for like a considerable amount. Like we have the room to critique them by law. Mm-hmm. So that means we could be like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You can't do your fucking job right. And should be covered by law. Now, I'm not like saying go out and practice that shit. Especially like you looking like I guarantee it, you would get a gun drawn on you quicker than I would for saying the exact same shit. Like, I could sit there and be like, man, y'all piece of shit fucking motherfuckers out here fucking with people. And they would just look at me like, sorry, you need to calm down. Or something like that. But
why, though?
Because I'm white.
Shouldn't matter.
It should matter.
Shouldn't matter.
But it does.
It's crazy. That's the world we live in, man.
Yeah, but does it have to be that way?
It doesn't have to be, but it is. That's why I feel like there's nothing you can do about it.
There's plenty you can do about it.
I mean, okay, what would you do?
So I seen a guy say that if every black person in America went and got a life insurance policy, a big life insurance policy on them and everybody in their household, you would not have cops getting away with murder. Because insurance companies do not want to pay life insurance policies. And if it's a wrongful death, like if they're murdered from someone, they will go after the person who murdered them and make them pay before they pay. Mm. And the cops will be held responsible. Because life insurance policy, like lawyers, don't fuck around. Like if they can get out of giving you the $1 million policy that you had, they're going to. Mm-hmm. So if they can say, Sean, you have $1 million life insurance policy. The police killed you. Instead of my company paying Taylor, who I'm sure is your beneficiary, $1 million, I'm going to go sue these cops or the cop or this, whatever, the station that he works at. And I'm going to get $1 million from them, probably more, and give it to you. And then my company don't pay a penny. And I think that's a way to fix it.
Maybe.
I think it's a real damn good way to fix it.
Maybe.
Because they don't want to pay. And if they can put fault on somebody else for your death, they're going to. And like it's almost like having like a big attorney in your corner without having to pay for one, just by having the policy. So like that sounds like a real good fucking place to start. Because like we could talk about reform, we could talk about defunding the police or doing the opposite and, you know, investing in the police. I don't think it's going to see as much change as quick as life insurance policies.
Maybe.
I mean, what do you think? How can you fix it?
I mean, that would be
If you could wave a wand to fix something, what would you do to fix it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Like, more training?
For the police? More training for the police?
I mean...
Would
you... I think another thing...
Well, because their job is to protect and serve.
Yeah, but...
So...
That's not what
they're taking...
Yeah.
I guess, like, the abuse of power. Like, they feel like they can get away with it. That's another thing
I don't understand is why they're allowed to lie to us.
Yeah.
Cops are allowed to lie to us. I didn't know that until
They're allowed
recently.
to lie. They're even allowed to, like, entrap us to a certain point. Like, they're allowed to reach out to us and be like, hey, man, I got a pound of weed for $200 if you want it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't looking for that.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you for that.
Yeah.
You brought it to me, enticed me with it, entrapped me with it, and I took the deal.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have done that unless you did that. Like, I wasn't looking to buy weed, but you're telling me it's such a low price. And I mean, I know how to sell weed.
Yeah.
I could fucking sell half of it and make my money back. And then just have weed or whatever. You know, whatever. They're allowed to do that.
It can make you... So, with that situation right there, it can make you, like, work for them?
Well, they can get you arrested for that. Because now you come to buy the weed, right? Boom, we got you for one, possession. For two, probably distribution. Because if you're buying that much, you can't say it's personal use. You can say it's personal use, but they're not going to believe it.
Yeah.
And no telling what else. If you're going to go buy weed from somebody you don't know, you're probably going to have a gun on you. So they're going to get you for, like, drug dealing with a firearm, which is more shit. Same thing with we talked about how cocaine gets you less of a charge than crack does, but they're the same drug. But cocaine...
Because one is powder and the other one is... Yeah.
But crack is predominantly in black neighborhoods, and cocaine is more white people.
I didn't know it was the same drug.
Yeah. Crack cocaine.
I feel very ignorant right now.
Yeah. All you do is you put in some water with some baking soda, some ice, it rocks up, and you can smoke it. Yeah.
It's like a little...
It looks like a little... It almost looks like...
a little deal.
It looks like
I knew you smoked crack. I just didn't realize crack was the same thing as cocaine. I didn't know it was the same drug.
And it's the exact same drug. Once cocaine or crack is cheaper.
Yeah. And the effects are different too, right?
I don't know. I've never done crack.
I've never done them, so I don't know.
I can tell you, I've done cocaine, but I've never done. Allegedly, I've done cocaine. Fucking
no, you already said it.
Yeah. I mean, I've experimented with
cokehead.
Fucking.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not a fun thing to do if you feel so
Why
nasty.
would you want to experience with that?
Because I only get one life, bro. I want to fucking experience everything I can.
Why?
And like I've talked to her about you with this, like how like it's weird that you don't want to try things.
No, man.
It's
like,
weird.
Why do you want to mess your life up?
It didn't mess my life up.
Why do you want to try something that could potentially mess your life up?
Why do you want to be a rapper if it's so dangerous? That could potentially ruin your life, right?
Yeah, but it's entertainment.
It's entertainment.
It's a craft.
It's
art.
It's art.
Yeah. So unless I don't know, you can say like doing drugs is art. I guess. Do you feel like doing drugs is art?
I think.
I'm the best.
I think it can lead to art.
Crack smoking person in the world. Boy, can't nobody beat me in smoking crack.
Me smoke his
crack. Can't nobody beat me in smoking crack. Watch this. Watch this.
Could be a crack man.
It's mind altering. It's taking your mind somewhere else. Like, it's...
You want your mind to go somewhere else?
Oh, yeah. I 100% do. I'm telling you, bro, that's why I love mushrooms. And with that woman who told me, like, you can't eat mushrooms. I'm like, how can you tell me don't do something that doesn't affect you or anybody else? Like, it's the safest drug on the motherfucking planet, but you're telling me don't do it while you're telling me you're pouring up a drink. But like I said, you're content. You're fine with everything in your life. You don't feel a need to like want to experiment with crack. No.
The way you said way you said that.
Well, I said crack. I mean like
no, it's just the way you said it. Like you're content with life. You don't want. you don't want to experiment.
So when you're on your deathbed, you're not gonna look back and think, "Damn, I wish I tried more stuff." You don't think?
Not drugs.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
If this is the one life we have.
Because I know the effects. I know. So it doesn't affect everybody the same way. Yes. I get that.
Yeah.
But
so you don't know
the stuff that I don't know the effects, but what I've seen from the bad parts.
What if I told you mushrooms would change your life in the positive? And it's not life ruining. You're not gonna get addicted to it. You're not gonna fucking be out there itching for fucking mushrooms. It don't work that way.
In what way? Because
what way it can change your life for positive?
Because it can change your life and it can change. It's different though, because to you your life is different than mine. So
no, that's true.
Your positive way might be different.
We all have trauma, correct? You have trauma.
Yeah.
Your cousin dying.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have way more trauma than just that, but that's just an example. It could help you deal with that in a way that you've never dealt with it before. It could help you find understanding and peace. And
I'm at peace with that.
You're at peace with it?
Yeah.
You don't hold a grudge against them people?
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I could live like you then. Mm-hmm. But I don't like.
I mean, I hate that it happened.
Just all this shit, bro. I don't get this shit is not real. Like this shit is not real.
What's not real?
Nothing. It's only
this table.
Nothing.
This microphone.
Nothing.
This podcast. This real,
nothing. Bro. It's real to us on our level. But that picture that I showed you, where it's Earth from so far away.
Yeah.
And I said, everyone you've ever known, everything that has ever happened, has happened on that tiny speck.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
You real, bro.
I can touch myself.
She's real. I'm real.
What happens here right now? What happens when
this library that we stand in?
If you're so real, what happens when you die? If we're so real and we're so
what they call it, you gone, you vanish, you disappear. Like so? If they put you if you get cremated, is that the right how you say it? Then you're in the ashes.
Do you think you are in the ashes?
I mean, they put your body in a machine.
You think you're just every little speck of ash, and you're just like, I'm ashes now. Oh, I guess I'm blown in the wind.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm floating down the river.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that.
What do you believe?
I believe your consciousness goes somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Your consciousness, your soul, energy, whatever you want to call it. People call it different things. People who are religious call it your soul. I call it consciousness or energy. Like, that's what drives us. Like, it's just a show. Like, that's all it is. It's a show. And it's how to experience life. Like I said before, I always thought we were like people experiencing the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it backwards now. I think we're the universe experiencing life as people.
Okay.
And I think, in my opinion, when we die, I think we get released back into whatever it is. Like, I don't know if it's fucking the universe, you can call it heaven. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. I think it's pure energy, which is neither bad or good. So it's like the purest form of like you don't want for anything. Kind of like how you live now, how you're like, I don't want drugs, I don't want this, like that, but like times 1,000. It's just pure. And once you're pure, there's no flesh that makes you sin, to hurt people, to lie, to cheat. You're just pure. And that's
you finally like elevated high enough to get there. Yeah.
But then I also think like,
is that what mushrooms do?
Oh, mushrooms definitely can do that. They can make you see how nothing this is, how nothing fucking matters, and how like the only thing that really matters is for one how you treat people, how you show love.
Do I want to live that way though?
peaceful and loving and.
Because okay, so what if your life is already that way?
Do you live right now as if everybody is you from a different point of view?
No.
Okay, mushrooms will do that, and that's exactly how I think of people.
That's not realistic, though.
What do you mean?
But how do you know it's not really like that?
How's it not realistic?
Because I know she's not like you. You're not like her.
No, I'm not saying we're the same, but I'm saying how do you not know that we're all the same consciousness living different perspectives?
Because we're not.
How do you know? Like,
because your perspective is different from mine.
No, I get that. Yeah, that's how I know. That's what I'm saying. The perspective is different, but how do you know we're not all one?
Because we're not.
Why?
We're just not.
Why?
You just know because you just know.
See, and that's where you need mushrooms. Because then you'll understand.
You'll understand what he's saying.
It is that.
You get it?
It's
You get it?
And we think we're different people because we've lived a different life. We've done different things. That's where the different perspectives come in. Okay? That's what crafts you into you. That's what molded you. Is everything that's happened in your life molded Sean to be Sean. And everything that happened in my life molded me to be me. But like consciousness-wise, energy-wise, we started out the exact same. And I still think we're the same. What we choose to do with that energy is up to us. So like, I could take my energy and I could go help somebody, or I could take my energy and be selfish and only look out for me. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by like, I think we should treat everybody as if they are us, except they live different circumstances in life. And that's what led them to wherever they're at. Whether that's somebody on the side of the road, whether that's a fucking police officer like yelling at us. Like if you just treat them like yourself, and just say, like, look, I understand you're scared. You just pulled me over. You don't know if I have a gun. Here's my hands. I'm reassuring you, like, do not be scared.
Yeah.
I think if everybody did that, I think it'd be a lot better. And it's starting to become like a global thing. Like psilocybin is now becoming recognized as medicine. And they're using it to treat PTSD and depression, anxiety. Not just psilocybin, which is mushrooms, but also MDMA. I don't know if you know what that is, but that's pure ecstasy. And people are being cured. Instead of being on antidepressants your whole life, some people are taking one dose of either psilocybin or MDMA, and they're getting cured with one dose. Have you ever heard of ayahuasca? Ayahuasca.
It's a you drink it and it makes you throw up and hallucinate.
And it's like you throw up because like it's your body like ridding all the negative out of your life is what it's supposed to be. Like metaphorical it is. But it takes you on this trip, like way different than mushrooms. You actually like
you go somewhere.
Yes.
Like you leave the planet.
Yeah. Like you're in a same thing with DMT, dimethyltryptamine, same thing. It's a fucking rocket ship. You hit it, you hold it, and then legit, you fucking blast off into fucking outer space. And that sounds terrifying. I bet it is, but I want to fucking experience it before I die.
I want to. I want to go out in the desert and do it.
See? And now, okay, so DMT is a very short-lived drug. You do it, you're done in like a minute tops, if that.
Yeah.
A college is doing, I think it's Cambridge, I'm not sure, but a college is doing a study to where they're putting DMT intravenously into people and they're able to keep them at a peak.
Yeah.
That means the high that like you get when you smoke it, they're able to keep them there for like an hour. And the world that they go to, they're able to map it out now. So it's like a real place. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, this isn't just it. This is what we know. Because our mind ain't open and we can't fucking unlock it. But there is another place, another realm, another dimension that we can go to and we can get to. And we can actually map it out. And I can do it. And then she can go do it. And know her way around. Because I've drawn this map for her. And she'll encounter the same people. Like it's usually like fairy type people. And like they're kind of mocking they kind of make fun of us for like caring about the shit we care about.
Yeah.
And it's, how does that not make you like, how do you not want to know about that? Like when you hear shit like that, I can't help but want to do it now.
Do you not believe it?
I don't.
What do you think it is then?
I don't know. I don't believe
You think
it.
it's just people tripping?
Yeah.
I can see that.
But I don't.
I can see that if we wasn't able to map it.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're able to like
go drink on it.
Like
he's like, y'all are making me think too hard.
No, it's just like, I mean, if that's, I don't know.
So that's like saying there's another dimension that our minds can get to.
That's it. I just want to just be me.
What if you could find out there's a better you?
I don't know. I just want to just.
He's like, I just want to live. I just want to wear my Jordans.
No, that's not what I think about in life. That's not like all I think about. I just want to wear my Jordans.
Know that if you was to ever do this,
I want to live life.
That's probably what they would mock you for.
Happy.
Yeah. They would mock you for like your material.
Stress free. I don't want to experiment on going out of space and smoking something and taking you up in the air like a rocket. Like,
if you go to space
every day and just be like, all right, let's see what today brings.
If you could just go to space, no drugs. If you could like take a rocket to space, would you?
Yeah, I'll go to space. Yeah.
So see, why would you want to do it in the most dangerous way?
Be sober.
But that's so deadly.
But you could die.
Yes.
You're not gonna die from doing shrooms.
So you want to go to space, but
I would.
You want to do it in a machine instead of just
you want to do it in a metal dick. You want to fuck the sky.
You want to fuck the sky.
You sky fucking motherfucker.
I mean, because I feel like if you're, I feel like if you have, I want to go and experience like as myself. I don't want to be under the influence or anything. Like I want to live life, not being under the influence.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. Okay. So, you have... I
want to be aware of everything.
Yes, you have a preconceived notion that if you're on drugs, you are not yourself.
Yeah, because I can tell if, like, I like it or not. If that... I don't know if that...
What if I told you the mushrooms would help you find out who you are, though, really? Like, it could probably, like...
I know who I am. I don't need to...
You think you do. I know. I get what you're saying. You could totally get away from all this. Like, you could come out of this and, like, you would never give a fuck about fashion again. I'm not saying you would, but, like, just as an example, you would be like, wow, that is so silly that I put so much time and effort into that.
I don't think it's silly.
I want to put my time and effort into something else. No, you don't think it's silly now because you've never done it. Like, there's shit that, like, I used to do and the ways I used to think.
That's what makes me, though. And that's what makes you, you.
I think that's what society molds you into. We done said you won't wear the knockoff Jordans.
I just want to be me.
You're lord of the brand.
I just want to be me. That's it.
You sure you don't
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
As long as it's in a pair of Jordans?
No, I don't have to have a pair of Jordans on to be me. Like, how I dress doesn't make me me.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't at all.
If I had to, I would give all of my Jordans away. Like, that's just fashion.
If
I don't need it. Though. I don't need it.
Why would it be if you had to?
Because I spend my own hard-earned work money on
it. Work money.
Yeah, so, I mean, I like it. But, like, if I had a choice and it was like, you gotta get rid of that. Yeah, I mean...
I wish my
well-being,
or I wish not my life, but I wish my mind worked like yours.
Yeah, my
well-being. I probably wouldn't have done a lot of shit in my life that I did.
Yeah.
But I'm also glad that it doesn't because I am thankful that I was open to like psilocybin and shit like that. Because like, what do you think about death? Do you have a fear of death at all? Your own mortality? Do you have a fear about Taylor's death?
Like, if she died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
want her to die? I don't want to die.
Or do you fear it?
No. Like, give me an example.
Like, that's it? Do you fear death? Do you fear death in any way, whether for you or for your family or... Like, do you have a fear of death?
No.
Do you think about?
Well, all right. So I'll put it like this. Let me see. I can say it. Okay. So with Taylor, she got everything in order. So, like, I guess you can say so. Like, for example, let's say financially, like, I honestly believe I wouldn't be in a position that I am in now if she didn't do what she did. And we talked about this on the last podcast, because she was saving, like, she was putting money up, and I didn't even know about it. It just happened one day, you know, I seen something.
Damn, I only got
and I was just and I was just like, oh yeah, like I want to buy this, and I was like, and I got this amount of money left, and I was like, all right, doing the math, like adding it up, like, yeah, I bring this home. How much was the rent? How much was the water? How much is this? And I'm like, all right, I gave you this, and I was like, I didn't spend money on this, so I'm like, I should have this or whatever. And I was asking her about it. I was like, how much you say like this and this and this was? Because how we do it is she tallies up everything. She'll tell me, she'll say, all right, this is how much all the bills are. And then I'll be like, okay, cool. Go ahead and get it. Well, what she was doing was, like, for example, let's say something is like $1,200 or whatever. She'll tell me, all right, it's $1,200. All right, cool. Give it to her. And then I'll be like, oh no, like, how's it $1,200? So I asked her one day, and then I was like, I only have like this much. And she was like, well, technically, you have this much.
Yeah.
And I was like, how? And like, we were literally like, I almost like got upset. I was like, how? Because I was like, you said it was this much.
You just now finding out that you got money.
Yeah, and then she was like, no, well, you have this amount because I was telling you that it was this, but it was actually like $200 less, and I was taking like that money and like putting it in like a savings account. And she was like, so technically you have like twice as much as what you thought you had. And I was like, what? You know, but I didn't spend it, but I was like, yeah, keep doing that. Because I was like, if you probably didn't tell me that, I probably would have spent it anyway.
So tying that into death.
So like, yeah, so tying it up to death. Like, she has everything set up or whatever to where it automatically gets paid. Like, she has the little app on her phone or whatever, like, you know, so like, and I don't know all that stuff. I don't know all that stuff. So like, if she was to get sick or like be extremely ill or knock on wood or like pass away, I'd be like, oh crap, like how is she like paying this? How is she doing that? So kind of like that. Is that kind of like the way? Because I was like, dang, if she died, like, I don't know.
You went a whole nother. You went to materialistic. Like. I'm talking about Taylor.
Like Taylor as a person?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't
Do you have a fear of her dying? I'm not talking about like how you're gonna pay bills or how she paid bills. Like, I'm talking about like to not come home to Taylor.
Yeah.
Does that scare you?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
That scares you.
Yeah.
What if I told you like I could take that fear away?
You can't take the fear away. It wouldn't be realistic.
It is realistic. It's
achievable. Because if she dies,
she's gonna die. You know that, right?
She's gonna die. Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna die.
I'm gonna die.
She's gonna die.
My kids are gonna die.
Yeah. You can't take that. Why would you want to take that away?
The fear?
Yeah.
Because once you stop giving death the power.
Do I sound dumb?
No. You just sound
curious.
No, it's
why would you want to take that away?
The fear of death? Because if you fear something, you're letting it have an impact on your life, and you're living differently because you're always thinking, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. If you could take that,
my life. But go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so if I could take that fear, just like you're saying, like I'm scared of Taylor dying. I'm scared of how am I gonna pay this? How am I gonna pay that? Like that's not how I would think about it. I would just be like, damn, I would miss my person. Like I'll figure out how to pay shit later, but just not
I'll figure that out.
But once you like accept everybody you ever know, will know, have known is going to die, death no longer has power over you.
Okay.
And there is a way to like come to that understanding, because like the last time I really did mushrooms was I was dealing with death.
Okay.
Like my grandpa just died, my cousin died, my ex, her dad died, and like I was worried about my own mortality with my kids and stuff. And I was just panicking. And I was fearful. I still don't want to die, You know, I want to live.
Yeah.
But I had this understanding that this isn't it. Like, this has always been temporary. And I've always known it. From a very young age, I knew everything was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So why do we have this fear of, like, dying, even though we know?
Do you feel like that's what makes you you, though?
I don't think it's what makes me me.
For me,
I think it gives life purpose.
For me, that's what makes my life meaningful. That's what makes
it's gonna die?
Certain stuff. Well, yeah, that, but having feelings for certain stuff, certain situations,
no,
like
feelings
reactions
are good.
to
Yeah,
certain situations.
Feelings are good.
That what makes you, me. That Taylor who Taylor is, my mom who my mom is, my dad who my dad is. So for me,
but if you could take a fear away from them, don't you think they would be a better person?
No.
To be less fearful.
Be a better person?
Yeah.
If I take fear away?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think so? Why? If you fear something, that means like you're thinking negatively of it and it's like impacting your life. Why would you not want to take fear away?
Well, we kind of need fear in a good way sometimes.
You need fear for like situational awareness.
Yeah.
But like fear for the inevitable is silly, I think. Like fear of death is silly. We know we're gonna die. So why fear?
Yeah, so if you know you're gonna die, why not just accept it?
Because that's hard for some people. Yeah, can you accept just not existing anymore?
For some people. Huh?
Can you accept it not existing anymore? Like, just not being you, not having any consciousness, not having any thoughts. We were just talking about on the way here. In 2 generations, your name will probably never be said again. It can be as little as 2 generations.
That's why, well, yeah. So I will accept that and then live every day at a time and make the best of it. So, for example, if you know 2 decades from now, nobody's probably gonna. Once you're gone, nobody's probably gonna even talk about you. Make the best of it now. Make the best of it.
No, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, I think death gives life
purpose. If you're gonna die, you'll be like everybody's gonna die one day, you know. But
do you think it gives meaning to stuff?
I think so. Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, just make the best of it.
I think if you live this life as if tomorrow is promised or guaranteed, you're going to put everything off until tomorrow. But I think knowing life is so short, like stepping out on a limb, taking a chance.
Sorry to cut you off. Let me use this as an example because this is what me and you talked about before. When you say like, for now, like you'll say like, love doesn't last forever. Yeah. Relationships doesn't last forever. And like I know you'll pick with me all the time. I know you're just picking my brain, which is I like that. Which is I like that too because it does make me think. But you'll say like, oh, okay, well this for now. Yeah. Like and then I'll be like, well, okay, well until that time comes. Yeah. Okay. But I say until that time comes, I'll just deal with it. Yeah. So that's kind of how I live life. Like I know relationships are not going to last forever. I know you're not going to live forever. So it's like, just make the best of it at that moment. Like, whether if it's 10 years, 20 years.
Well, that's the thing. When I say for now can be 20 years. For now can be 30 years.
When that time comes, I deal with it.
For now, it could be 2 days. Everything's temporary.
Today's Sunday. 2 days is Tuesday. So if Tuesday come and I'll be like, oh, dang.
You and Taylor split up. Or like.
I mean, I'm going to fight, but I just be like, okay, it didn't work. Huh?
Are you?
Yeah.
Thought you said when y'all was done. Now you're fighting, bro. Come on.
No, well, you be no. So when we both said that, so when we say when we're done, it's like when the fight is over. When you're gonna
feel
fight,
there's nothing to fight.
And there's nothing to fight for. You're gonna make an agreement and be like, all right, is it over? Like, then.
But you gotta come to that understanding for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And I always feel like. I know we only got like 15 minutes, but I always feel like
slamming doors and shit all out.
I always feel like there's a reason for everything. I do too. So just use my relationship as a situation. Like if I decide that it's done, then there's a reason. For me, just using my relationship, I feel like if I step out because probably I wasn't happy.
No. Like, well, look at mine. I just got divorced.
Yeah.
I could look at that as like time wasted. And sometimes I get in that negative mind space where I'm like, it was years wasted.
Yeah.
But then when I'm really like not being angry, I can look at it and go, well, all that was for a reason. For one, it taught me like that wasn't real love. It might have been like for a moment in the beginning, but it was more compromising than like
like do you feel like it hurts yourself more in the long run? Like
I know it hurts now, but it's
more than what it did. So
do I feel like the pain was worth the fucking like the benefit?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I got my kids, they're fucking great. They got a decent mom as long as she fucking don't let negative influences infiltrate her fucking self-love and self-being.
All right. So let me ask you this. You said that when I had my opinion on your situation, you said it's different and I probably wouldn't understand because I didn't have kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally different.
I believe that there's a lot of other people that have similar situations than like you, and they did decide to split, and they have kids.
And there's also a lot of other people who's in the same situation that are still in the situation.
Yeah.
And riding it out for the kids. There's always going to be
just asking as an opinion. Because do you have kids?
Yeah, I have two.
All right, so asking y'all because I don't have kids, but asking you two guys because you guys are parents. Why would you stick it out? Because for the kids, when it's damaging you.
Well, me personally, if it's only damaging me,
I care more about my kids.
Yes, I would take the damage, but it's normally not that. It's
so you don't think it's damaging the kids?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If you're saying that, if you're saying it's damaging the kids, then 100% you need to split. But if it was a situation to where my kids are benefiting from it, but I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm gonna stay and be fucked up for my kids. As bad as that sounds, trust me, I know it sounds bad.
Okay, but you guys are not trying to say this in a bad way at all. But I'm just curious, because you guys end up splitting anyway. So now it's hurting the kids anyway. Just asking from outside.
I don't think so.
You don't think
not my situation. I'm not saying like things that like the mom or I could do doesn't hurt them at times, but in the long run, I don't think it's as hurtful as watching us fight.
Yeah, I stayed in my first marriage for way longer than what I should have to make it work for my oldest son. And then we finally got divorced, and then I was married again, and I got out of that one because I knew it wasn't right. Even though we have a kid, I called it because I knew it was healthier for my son for me to be out of that marriage than in it. So it just depends on circumstances, I think. You know,
just asking.
If you could,
because I don't have kids, so it's easy for me to look at it from like a different perspective.
Trust me, if I could have just cut and run and not worry about my kids, it would have been a different.
It sucks to hurt fucking children, but I think it sucks to teach the children how to love wrong.
Yeah,
I think that's more damaging than it is to show them, hey. Love can run its course.
Because at the age that they are now, are they still affected by it though?
Mine act like they don't really care, but they're at the age now where like they're running, they're driving, like they just got the driver's permit. You know, shout out to my two oldest because they fucking.
Well, then that'll make sense then because you say like, oh, okay,
they have
so
like
they're
a
old
distraction,
enough, so they're kind of like whatever. So, but like. Let's say, like, for example,
young,
if they were like, oh, man, like, mom, dad not together, like, I'm really, really, like, stressed
my
out
6-year-old is
then it would be
having, I have a 6-year-old, and his dad chooses not to be around, and it is so hard on him.
Even at 6, and that's fucking...
It's so hard. I hate it.
Well, that fucking... Yeah, we picked up.
I'm scared of that.
Picked a terrible topic to fucking end.
Just don't be a shitty dad. I'm scared of that, man.
Bro, love your kids.
Like, even he asks me all the time. He's like, "Why you don't want to have kids?" And it's like, because of that. Like, I'm scared of that.
Just don't be a shitty dad.
I'm scared of like being with my my child's mom and like it not working, and then like it get affected, like my child get affected, and like, where's mom? And I'm like, we didn't work, and they're like, why didn't work? And I'm like how you say, like if you don't have an answer, and I'm like, I don't know why, or
you'll always have an answer,
and then I'll be like, let's say she left because of me, because I did something, and then the kid's like, Dad, why did you? Mom told me you did this. Why you did this? And I'm like, I don't know why I'm a sucky dad. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
that didn't make you a sucky dad. That made you a sucky husband.
Or yeah. And I'm like, and then you don't want to. I guess you could say like, okay, what me and your mom had nothing to do with you. So I guess you can be a better father.
Bro, but truth, honesty, transparency is the best thing for kids. Yeah. People like to hide and sugarcoat. Fuck all that. Be truthful, and I think you're gonna be all right. And eat mushrooms. That's all I got. That's how.
No, I don't want mushrooms.
Eat mushrooms.
I feel like you gonna split me one day. Like, try this.
Because if you don't want to do it, it's.
If you suddenly taste shit out of nowhere,
they don't taste great.
What did you give me?
I would want you to go into it wanting to do it, because you would be more accepting. It would be more beneficial.
I accept everything now. What did you
Take my Jordans.
What did you give me?
Take them all.
He's just like passing them out the house.
You're right. I don't need any of this.
Give me the knockoff.
Yeah.
All right.
For real.
So, yeah, we got 5. That's it. Episode 9?
10.
Right? No, 9. This is 9.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
So is she a real fan? She's like,
I said, it's 9. I said it was 9. Yeah.
Episode 9, 50-50. We out.
We out.